Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello people and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Welcome to another stream where we'll actually get into fights and stuff. But listen, Man United signed a goalkeeper that is nobody knew about before yesterday. For some whatever reason, Man United targeted that goalkeeper and said the team is complete now currently. Liverpool miss out on Guehi. Is it their fault? Is it Crystal Palace's fault? Oliver Grasner standing up for himself. But basically Crystal Palace did him wrong, to be honest, by not letting him go after he did his medical. However, there are a lot of talks about Crystal Palace did the right thing for themselves as well. Arsenal window complete with Hincapia, and everybody there is happy with the window. A lot of criticism for Arteta now from Arsenal legends, of course, like Ljungberg, like all the people that actually criticize Arsenal now for the way they play. A lot of people have lost. Okay, I just want to say this. A lot of Arsenal fans have lost hope, and now they are trying to put the pressure on Liverpool because they signed Isak, which is something I'm not liking. I want to see a title race. I don't want the title to be ending in March. But big up everybody that is here. We're going to be joined by Joe as well, if he wakes up. We got Don Hussam. We got Mr. Staffy TV himself. We got Cam, of course, joining us, and Martin joining us. How is everyone doing? Here we go in the fucking chat. No agenda started. Fucking shit, bro. I can do any show without any fucking gaslighting.
But great.
How's everyone? You know what? Just before we do the show, guys, I want you there is a Crystal Palace fan. His name is Oli. He actually reads the video. It's very logical from Crystal Palace point of view. Let's all of us, guys, hit that like button before we go, and then let's listen to it. I've already seen it. It's great explanation of the situation from his point of view.
So after all that, Marc Guehi stays at Crystal Palace. And look, as a Palace fan, I'm happy with this. This summer, generally speaking, I was pro cashing in on Guehi. I thought it would be good to get a bit of extra money, which we could really use. And sometimes you've got to look forward into the future. £35 million is better than nothing for Guehi. That was my stance until this morning. You cannot sell your captain and your best player on deadline day without a replacement lined up. And we didn't have a replacement lined up. That is why he stayed. I also want to challenge this narrative that Liverpool fans are now peddling that Guehi should have done an Isak and that Palace are actively harming Marc Guehi's career, showing him no respect. I just want to remind people that the narrative this summer from Palace, and this has been constant all the way through the window, is that Guehi was happy to stay. He is happy to run his contract down at Palace. Again, another source from right at the beginning of the summer. And it is Palace who have been actively trying to sell him. The reason reason Marc Guehi has been a gentleman and not forced to move is because he doesn't really mind if he leaves or not. He has 1 year left on his contract. He will have a choice of clubs next summer if he doesn't sign a new one at Palace. One of those will probably still be Liverpool. And if for whatever reason they're fuming and they don't want to sign him anymore because of all this, he'll just go somewhere else because he's very, very good at football. At the end of the day, we shouldn't be encouraging players to do an Isak or do a Wissa, in my opinion, because it's bad for the selling clubs. In the example of Isak and Wissa, those are two players who are trying to be bought by clubs in Newcastle and Liverpool that were a lot bigger than the selling clubs. And ultimately, Brentford and Newcastle got good deals out of that in the end. They did. I will die on the hill that Liverpool could have bought Guehi earlier this summer if they had just given Palace an acceptable offer. Glasner said in his press conference after the Villa game yesterday that they had an agreement. They would happily sell Guehi if they got the right replacement in. Palace would not give it enough time to get the replacement in. Liverpool bid once after the Community Shield, which we didn't respond to, and the bid that was ultimately accepted went in on Saturday. That's not a lot of time, and it also wasn't a lot of money for a player of Guehi's level. He clearly was not a priority for them, all right? If he was, this would have been done months ago. Genuinely. We probably would have accepted that offer in June. But it wasn't in there. Palace's own shortcomings today, trying to get Igor from Brighton as replacement and accepting an offer and cancelling it. Look, I understand it's not a good look for us, and that is something that we as a club will probably reflect on. But I don't feel especially sorry for Guehi because he's not tried to force a move at any point. He's clearly happy at Palace broadly. He's also playing in Europe this season. He'll play every game of a World Cup year and then he'll go for Liverpool next summer and pocket the signing on fee. I think he'll be okay. I also don't like this narrative that he should have forced a move. Liverpool should have just given us an offer earlier and he would be a Liverpool player right now.
So now can I respond? Because
no, I don't want you to respond first.
So there is no point of view.
No. I want other people first to say their opinion about this as neutral. Someone outside. You're a Liverpool fan. You think I'm against Liverpool. So me and you can get into it later. Okay?
I'm not going to debate it with you. I'm going to respond to what he said in the video. I'm not going to debate it with you.
Did he say any information that is wrong?
خلاص براحتك. Go ahead. Run your show.
Okay, let me just. Did you see any information that is wrong? Why are you upset? Did you see any information that is wrong? Go ahead. Khalas. Nobody wants to talk.
There were no lies told. There are no lies told. I'll say that right off the jump.
Go ahead. You guys speak.
No lies told whatsoever. I completely agree with him, especially on the part that if Liverpool had just paid up earlier, they did the thing where they're like, he's on his last year. He's got to go. Like, they're going to have to accept what we want. And they kept saying, we want 40. I was following the saga the whole time. And they kept saying, this is the price we want. Liverpool is doing that thing, which I get it. Like, both sides, I understand it. They're like, well, no, we're going to wait till they're desperate. Turns out, like, they don't clearly need the money. If they needed the money, they would have taken the deal regardless. And I think when you look at it as a fan from their perspective, like, if they sold all their players last year, like the Ezes, the Guehis or whatever, do they win the 2 trophies they win? Probably not. If you're a Palace fan, I saw another Palace fan do something else. Also, there's another one out there that's a really good video where he talks about at the end of the day, we want the memories, we want to be better, we want to win. We don't, like, the 35 M's in the long term doesn't matter to us. So, like, I completely get the side of like, oh, well, they accepted the offer. Cool, they accepted the offer contingent on getting a player in. That player, that fell through. That's unfortunate for both sides. It sucks more for the player than it does for Liverpool. I feel way worse for Guehi because dude wanted to go, and I get it. He got his hopes up. His deal was done. He's like, I get to go. But there was contingencies. There was always a contingency if we get our player in, and then that fell through. That's just an unfortunate circumstance. That is no one's fault. It is what it is. And then Palace had to take a step back and go, shit, like, we just can't do this. It's like we're going to hurt ourselves way too much if we do this. We're in multiple competitions. We want to compete. That's it. Kelsey just did the same thing. Like, they just did the same thing with Jackson. They tried to cancel his thing, and he pushed hard. Like, it's at the end of the day, people, I get it. Liverpool fans are like, oh, the deal was accepted. Like, this is bullshit. Hey, if you really, really, really wanted him, pay earlier in the window. The same way we got screwed when we paid late in the window for Antony, and we paid way more than we should have ever paid for that player. The same way it's happened to us every year when we had shitty owners. We still do, but the shitty owners who would always come in late. That's just what it is. That's the name of the game. So I agree with the Palace. Like, I agree with what Palace did. I agree with Glasner, and it is what it is. Go for it. Go for him in January.
Anybody else want to take this before I say my opinion on it? Because my opinion is actually Crystal Palace made a mistake. Crystal Palace made a mistake. Accepting the deal, sending him to do his medical, leaving it till late. Crystal Palace made a big mistake. Actually, if you knew you're gonna accept the offer of 35 million, because both Liverpool, this is me reading a tweet from August 4th, right? Liverpool and Newcastle United hold interest in Marc Guehi. Crystal Palace want 50. Liverpool don't want to pay above 40. If you knew that Liverpool are not gonna bid above 40, and you're gonna leave it till late, why didn't you go sign the replacement earlier? And they didn't. And I think what Oli said on this video, right, is they were under the impression that Guehi would stay at the end, that he wouldn't go. But he was tempted by Liverpool move at the end. The only problem here is that Liverpool problem is what Cam said. Liverpool tried to play the bully here with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace wanted 50. If Liverpool offered 45 earlier in the window, Crystal Palace would have sold him. But because they have never received the money they wanted at that point, they kept Guehi to play until the last moment. And then when Liverpool put in the bid, yeah, they accepted the offer. That is their mistake. But I guarantee you what Ollie's saying is right. If Liverpool offered 45 or something close, they would have sold and they would use that money to buy another player. But because they never received the offer they wanted, they kept the player. It happens all the time. Same for Man United with Sancho, same for Man United with Anthony. That happens all the time. Liverpool played a risky game, and now they ended up with Konate, Gomez, Leone, and Van Dijk, even though they wanted Guehi. You might get him in the summer. That's what Liverpool fans don't see. Crystal Palace were mistaken here. But also at the same time, Crystal Palace actually got the Igor deal. Here we go. The guy accepted to go to Crystal Palace. The deal was accepted, and then he changed his mind last minute. The last thing I'm going to say, if Liverpool sold Konate this window, right? If Liverpool sold Konate this window, right? And he went and did his medical, and Liverpool, assuming they're going to get Guehi, and then in the last minute, right? Guehi said, no, I'm not going to Liverpool. I'm going to see out my last year of contract. Do Liverpool have the right, if Konate deal is not sealed for Real Madrid, for example, to call him back because they are short of a center back? All the Liverpool fans at that time, I guarantee you, most of them would say, yeah, it's our right to call Konate. The Guehi deal didn't go through, for example. But because it's their club, nobody wants to see it. Crystal Palace are mistaken, but Liverpool are mistaken as well to leave it at the last minute. That is my opinion about it. I just said my piece on it. This is it. If Staffy wants to talk, if Martin wants to talk, Staffy, you're lagging a little bit.
I'm lagging?
Yes.
I think it's a little complicated. Each transfer is its own issue, and everything's slightly different for every transfer. And with owners like the way that they are, it's almost like a rich company. You know, if you have a good relationship with the CEO, even if you're a player, you can negotiate something with him and it'll be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to get my deal. I'm Marc Guehi. I've spoken to Parrish. He's going to get me that deal. We'll go to Liverpool. But then Parrish is already, you know, he's trying to keep his manager. You're trying to keep a bunch of people happy at the same time. And it's just kind of a shit happens type scenario. You either get your stuff sorted early and make sure that there's a replacement coming in for you. And, you know, it's really hard to get these transfers between clubs in the Premier League. And, especially in the scenario with Newcastle, the way that Isak was their crown jewel. I don't like the way that whole situation's played out now, and I feel like everyone's a bit sheepish about it. Even Isak and Liverpool in their announcement video is kind of like, yeah, I'm here, I'm sorry, but I'm here. But what the Newcastle fans that had made you a hero are now like all of a sudden just left in the lurch. So I don't know. There's something really like something to be said for fighting for your own move, but also there's a limit, and maybe people will judge how you act on your actions to get that move, and maybe it'll be detrimental in the long run. I don't know. But I don't begrudge Liverpool fans for trying to get Guehi, and I don't begrudge Palace fans for billing. I feel like Palace should be more concerned about the fact they didn't sign enough good players to replace all these players they had going out. Like, there just wasn't enough effort, it seemed to me, to get players in to replace what everyone knew was going to go. So, you know, there's going to be victims all over the place. So I don't really have a lot of sympathy.
Are you gonna talk now, or khalas, you're done? Oh my God, is he done with the guys? But before we go on, big up everyone that joined us from the Football Terrace, guys. Make sure to hit that like button, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. We're on the way to 43K, so come on now, help us get there, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. We got like 1,000 people in the house. and we're not even on 100 and 150 likes. Hit that like button. Go ahead. Are you gonna get involved with us or no?
Talking to you.
Sam, this is only you.
No,
Like,
no,
we
let
all
Staffy talk
we
first. Go
all
ahead,
said our opinion. Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
Okay, I
Staffy
didn't know
didn't
that.
speak. No, I'm just letting you run your show. Go ahead, Staffy.
No, I don't really have that different of an opinion. I agree with Mo. I see the whole idea that he was only going to leave based on them signing a replacement, them not signing a replacement. That means they're fucked. I kind of get it, bro. Like, yeah, we all want the players that we want, and we don't give a shit about these small clubs. But to be fair, he is your captain. He's your best defender. He's arguably your best player now with Eze gone. I kind of understand why they feel that way. But I also understand why Liverpool fans feel pissed, because they feel like that was the last missing piece to the puzzle, because they already strengthened the front line. They strengthened all around, and all they needed was a defender, because we already seen Konate. I don't know if he's injured now or not, but I seen him come off injured against Arsenal on the weekend. So, of course, they're going to feel that way because they're trying to go for a league title. So, yeah, you reach a point where, like, there was an agreement, verbal or on paper, whatever it is, but because something like an outside thing happened, now both people are like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Like, you just told me you were going to give me Guehi. And they're like, no, I was going to give you Guehi, but then I suffered a loss here. I didn't get my center back, so now I have to do that. So it's like a situation where, like, both of them are just washing their hands off and like, I'm sorry, like, situation sucks. I know I gave you a word, but I have to do what's best for me. So both of them are looking at what's best to them. I understand both parties being, or mainly Liverpool being upset. But
Is he lagging massively, right?
Am I lagging?
Massively, brother.
Why am I lagging, bro? What the fuck is this? Do you get it at least?
We can hear even like you're going in and out.
All right, let me restart.
The driving
Don't need to
tunnel.
restart. So, Sam, tell us now. I kind of listened to your show earlier today with Igal, and you and Igal got.
Anyway,
into
guys,
that
the reason why I wanted to respond to the video is because 17 minutes in, all four of them said the same exact opinion, which is the same exact opinion of all rival fans. Just like I spent 3 months being gaslit during the Isak saga, this is another thing which I'm gonna get gaslit on. You get me? It's so obvious why.
I think you know what
Yeah,
gaslighting is.
It's so obvious why. طب okay, 17 minutes. I didn't interrupt any of you. Interrupted me after.
أنا آسف.
I know what
أعتذر لك.
gaslighting means, Mo. I know what gaslighting means. You
Okay.
can't teach me English.
You literally
Anyway,
tell me
as
that
I
I'm
was saying-
gaslighting Arsenal fans, and then
Anyway,
you're telling
as I
us
was
to gaslight
saying-
you.
as
We
I was
tell you the
saying,
opposite.
The reason why I'm saying I'm being gaslit is because everyone knows why Guehi is not a Liverpool player. Guehi is not a Liverpool player due to Crystal Palace incompetence. This is not because Liverpool didn't bid early when our first bid happened after the Community Shield, even like Oli himself said in the video. Last I checked, let's check together. Let's go. Let me just Google it quickly. So let me go Liverpool 2-2 Crystal Palace. Let me just look at the date just to double check because we're going based off what Oli said, right? So that was 10th August 2025. The date today is 2nd September 2025. So that bid happened almost a month ago. So all of you guys creating false narratives based on bullshit makes no sense because of the first bid and the first, whether it was formal or informal, before we go to the semantics, because I know you're going to argue the semantics. Oh, was it a formal bid? Was it an informal bid? It doesn't matter. The first bid was on August 10th. As a matter of fact, the proof of the pudding, why Crystal Palace knew all along that they needed to sign a replacement, is Martin actually reiterated the point today, the City fan, that Crystal Palace wanted to sign Akanji 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago is 14 days ago. 14 days ago is August 16th, August 17th, August 18th. So they had all that time to go and find a replacement. So once again, for the second saga in a row, chat, it's the same exact thing. They're making it about the money and how early we bid and not actually addressing the root cause of the issue. Why did Crystal Palace attempt to sign Diomande a month and a half ago? Why did they attempt to sign Akanji 2 weeks ago? Why did they attempt to sign Igor? Why did all of these things happen? That's number one. Number two, the thing, the point of the matter is, Liverpool were a respectful football club trying to build relationships and network like all the good football clubs do. And they waited for Crystal Palace to get a replacement. Crystal Palace, just like Newcastle, were incompetent for 2 months, just like I got gaslit for 2 months, were incompetent and incapable of signing a replacement. And that's why Guehi today is a Crystal Palace player. Now, there's a lot of things that he said on the video that was wrong. Number one, Glasner is a hypocrite. Why is Glasner a hypocrite? Because a month from now, when Amarim gets sacked and Ineos approach Glasner to be the Manchester United manager, do you think Glasner would give a fuck about Guehi then? No, he wouldn't give a fuck about Guehi then. He would accept being the Manchester United manager immediately and not care about Crystal Palace. The second thing regarding, him threatening to leave, no one's actually mentioning that part, because when Cam first started speaking, he brought up the point that, it's because they couldn't get a replacement. No, actually, the bid was accepted and he was mid-medical, but because their manager threatened to leave, therefore overpowering the owner himself who wanted him sold, was the issue. Because Crystal Palace would have went from just losing their centre-back to losing their centre-back, losing their manager, and now having to find a new manager for Crystal Palace, which is not an easy scenario given the fact that he just won them their first trophy. And the third thing that I want to bring up is regarding this whole saga with Marc Guehi. We've been speaking about Marc Guehi probably for 2 months now. Like the first time I brought up Marc Guehi, yes, was probably in June.
Use Firefox now. Use Firefox. Don't use Chrome. Use Firefox.
The first time that I probably did a video or I spoke about Guehi was around 2 months ago. So everyone in the whole planet knew that Marc Guehi was going to leave. Now, what I think happened is probably Crystal Palace thought that he'd change his mind. Crystal Palace maybe thought that he'd sign a new contract because he's a South London boy, as we all saw in the video, but he refused to sign a contract and he let them know that he doesn't want to sign a contract. Now, here's the thing about the Isak thing, and this is the last thing that Oli was wrong on. Whether Oli likes it or not, there were 2 players that were respectful to their football clubs this summer. Strand Larsen and Marc Guehi. Both of them remain at their football club. The 3 assholes this summer
What about Vista?
are Jokeres, Isak, and Wissa. These are the 3 assholes who didn't turn up to training, who threatened to leave.
Turn up to training?
Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to join you in pre-season. And all of them, a lot better. All of them, all of them got their moves. So the reason why Liverpool fans are bringing up the Isak thing in relation to the Guehi thing is because if I go based off of the facts and of the evidence, if Marc Guehi said, fuck off Crystal Palace, I'm not turning up to training, I'm not going to pre-season, I'm not going to play for you in the Premier League anymore, he'd have been a Liverpool player now. It's the truth. So
let me get this straight. So Wallah al-Azim, I'm like, there's no, you are now in the camp of every player that wants a move, if they feel any hesitation from the club, you are a pro player now. You're completely pro player.
I've always been pro player.
Okay. So you think that what Coutinho did was right, not showing up to training and threatening and all of this. If you say that...
No. I don't think what Coutinho did was right as a Liverpool fan, no.
What?
What? I said it. I don't think what he did is right as a Liverpool fan, yeah.
You just contradicted yourself.
I don't get
No, I didn't contradict myself because I don't when we're
you're
talking
about player, you want the players to do what they want, but you
I don't want to leave my own football club because tribalism is involved, of course.
Oh, okay. Great. Okay, I didn't. Okay. So you think what Isak did is right because he's joining Liverpool.
Yeah.
So if he was joining Arsenal, is a title contender.
No, I think what Jokeres did is right as well. I think what Jokeres did is right.
Eucharist and Isak is not the same. Eucharist was promised a move
according
publicly.
To you.
No.
According to the reporters, it's the same. Because Isak has been telling them he wants to leave a long time ago.
No,
same thing.
Okay, again. Okay. You said, can I respond to this particular point? Eucharist was promised to leave. Newcastle said we never promised him to go. Okay? And my proof of this is a couple of things, by the way. That them at the end trying to go to convince him to stay, that means they really have no intention. Let me finish. They had the fact that 3 days before the window shuts, Yasser Romayan sent a delegation or sent somebody to convince him to stay. That means they really, until the end, they didn't want to sell him. This is a fact, okay? Because if you were planning to sell the guy, you wouldn't send your hierarchies try to convince him to stay. This is just not an
Here's
opinion.
Here's the issue. Here. Newcastle has been lying all summer.
Okay, hold on. The number two, Sam, about Isak, he was never promised a move. Newcastle clearly in their statement said we never promised a move. Nobody from the Isak camp or the journalists said that he was promised a move. They said that he told them his intention that he would want to go. This is so different by, for example, Bruno Fernandes or Barella telling Inter, I want to go, it doesn't mean that the club have to honor this. But once the club promise you to leave, now we're going into promises. This is why I say, when Crystal Palace accepted the bid from Liverpool,
Yeah, so
now
you're
you made-
basing a
now
whole
you made a
argument
mistake. Let me
based off
finish.
of was he promised or not? That's it. That's
Because
your narrative.
no, because it's
Was
a
he
different
promised to
situation.
move or was he not promised to move? If he was
100%
promised
it
it,
makes-
it's
it
okay.
went- it
If he
makes-
wasn't promised it, it's not okay.
I'm so consistent about this. A
Yeah,
player that
let's
was
just about the
promised to move,
promises, man. Great.
I'm very consistent about the promise to leave. If a player was promised a contract to leave, you treat the club as an institute. And they made a mistake by not giving him the contract. But we moved on from the Isak thing. I believe now, to be honest, that Newcastle didn't intend to sell him all summer, by the way. Yes, they were trying to sell
Yeah,
a
but Newcastle
replacement.
have lied all
Let me
summer.
finish.
So how am I supposed to know that they're telling the truth? Why
did-
do you
where-
feel
where
that
did
Isak
they
is
lie?
one that lied
Where
and
did-
not Newcastle?
Where did they lie?
Oh, Newcastle haven't lied all
No.
summer
Tell
long?
me where did they? Tell me.
Isak
the story.
isn't for sale.
Okay,
Isak
hold
will
on.
only go for 150
One,
million.
please.
Isak will only go when we
one
sign
point
two
at a time, يا
replacements.
حسام, عشان
They
نروح
lied
الناس.
about everything.
يا حبيبي, 1 point at
Why
a
should I
time.
believe
يا
Newcastle? I believe
حبيبي,
Isak. I don't
can
believe
we do
Newcastle.
1 point at a time so we can respond to it and I get the panel's opinion on it? For Isak situation, they said he's not for sale. I'm gonna ask the panel, who some of them very like these people, you know that these people wouldn't lie, right? They asked
You
the
know
panel-
Isak is taking
لا
Luke
إله
Edwards
إلا
to
الله.
court.
خلاص
You know
والله
this,
العظيم,
right?
this is ridiculous. Go ahead.
You know Isak is taking Luke Edwards to court. You know this.
He can take Luke Edwards to court. The club, if the club
Do you
comes
know what
out-
Luke Edwards was
لا
claiming?
إله إلا الله.
Do you know
Yes,
what
I
Luke
know.
Edwards was
I
claiming?
don't care about this. Is a different story. We can talk about it. I want to finish. Hussam,
It's similar. It's the same idea.
Your strategy these days in debates are very strange. Don't take me into different avenues. Let's stick to one point.
I'm not
then
taking you into
لا-
a different
لا,
avenue.
يا حبيبي.
I'm not taking you.
Luke
يا حبيبي,
Edwards.
Mo, this is not parliament. It's not like everyone has a set 30 seconds to speak. You interrupted me as
me
well
and
several
you are
times.
me and you are
بدك أنا
talking
أخرب
only.
الشب خربه والله بحكيش.
والله
جد
العظيم
بخليش.
me and you
يعني
and
هسه
you.
ترى بطلع مخ الأردني هون جد بدكيش أنا أحكي
لا
بحكيش
ما
عادي.
تهددنيش.
احكي
Why are you
براحتك
threatening
عادي.
me?
احكي
طب ما
براحتك.
I'm trying to respond to you.
طيب ماشي ما هو أنت
طب
كمان
يعني
interrupted
1
me
point at a
7 times.
time.
احنا
1
شو
point
كاينين
at a time.
بمجلس
يا
الأمة يعني.
حبيبي, I am not even trying.
تفضل يلا احكي.
I'm trying to respond to you. I forgot what I said.
You
I
guys are
literally forgot what I said in the beginning. Literally, by the way. والله العظيم أنا نسيت أنا كنت هرد على إيه. أقسم بالله. I forgot what I was about to respond to. You know, fuck Isak, bro. Fuck Newcastle. I'm done with this shit, bro.
Can I just ask though, like, what's the problem? Like, I mean, Liverpool should have got another defender lined as a backup. Like, there should be no reason they're angry at Crystal Palace for not letting their player go. Like, if you wanted to get that deal done, get it done earlier when Eze was going and he wasn't kicking up a fuss. Like, you selected
You're
players.
again saying the same stuff. Again, it just doesn't change. Isak narrative, Guehi narrative, copy paste. You should have done it earlier. You should have just paid the money. It's the same stuff. No one wants to be objective anymore. It's just the same shit over and over
So
again.
you're trying to be
Just
Mr.
pay
Nice
the
Guy. You
160
waited for
million.
Palace
Just
to like.
pay the 50 million for Guehi. Just pay it. Just pay it.
I don't
Negotiations
know.
are no
I don't know
longer
who's
part of
mad. Like,
well,
who's mad?
None of that is the thing. Why didn't you just pay the 100 million for Jokeres? Why? Tell me, Martin. Why?
Because we got him for 55. We waited.
That's not an answer.
We didn't need
I
him
asked
at
you,
that time.
so
It
why
was like
didn't you
off-season.
pay the 100 million that Sporting Lisbon wanted for Jokeres? Go ahead.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why would we pay what we don't have to?
Oh,
They
so now you
negotiated.
forgot what happened during the Sporting Lisbon saga. Let me remind you what happened. The Sporting Lisbon's owner changed his mind and said, "Fuck off! I'm gonna sell him for 100 million." Why did Berta negotiate? Why didn't he just pay the 100 million? Why?
Because he knew that they wouldn't get that money because there wasn't anyone else in a bidding war, and it was just us that was his priority, and so we were just going to wait it out. I've been consistent with this. I haven't called Liverpool out, and I said it's hypocritical to like go at these players for like trying to get their deals. I understand it. I'm not against that. So I don't know.
And I'm
why
the same
angry
as
at that.
you. I didn't call Jokeres out. I said,
No,
"Well
but
done. Get your
At the
move."
same time, it's on Guehi to like make it known that he needs to go and he's actually going, and it's not going to be Mr. Nice Guy at the end of it. I don't feel sorry for anyone in this scenario. You get your money, you get paid, get your contract, and get stuff in writing. If you don't have it in writing, I don't really feel sorry for you. And even when Jokeres was pushing for a move, I didn't like what was going on there. Like, I don't know what he's not showing up to training, or he's like saying he'll never play for Sporting again. Like, there's a relationship between the player and the fans that they generate, and there's a player and the club. And I don't like the way it's just the player and the fans gets completely forgotten.
The thing is,
Also,
I back
you guys
Joker
talk
as in
about
his
timing. Don't you
situation.
think the
I
Community
actually, I
Shield was
back.
long
But
enough
here's the thing.
ago?
I
Like a
back.
month ago, is that enough time?
I'm just
Come
saying,
on
as
now.
a neutral, I back when the players are told when if we to believe it, and I said all the evidence pointed for the Gyökeres thing, and I said this as a United fan that he was promised something. All the evidence pointed to that he was promised that he would be able to leave at a lesser amount, and then what happened was the guy who promised it all left. That's what it seemed to have happened. And then they're like, oh, well, it's null and void now. That guy's gone. For me, I think that's shady when you do something like that. But when I think about it in like the Isak situation.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah. If one is to believe that Isak was promised he would get his leave, then I also agree with what he did. The Guehi situation's a bit different because it seems like he was always stating he was okay to stay. And he didn't put up a fuss. He didn't make it like he wanted it. He didn't do it he didn't seem to agitate for a reason because he was like, I'm cool. Like I don't really need to. It's just look at believable.
That's Osam's point. He should have acted up.
No, but he should have only acted out like that if he truly was like promised and this was a conversation that they said we're gonna let you go. If it was never that conversation and it was like, well, we'll see what happens, then he doesn't need to act out. If he's like, yeah, cool, I'll see what happens. Yes, he could be upset that it fell apart at the last minute.
No, but it's not. I'm gonna defend this because I said that on my show yesterday, Cam. It's not his fault that Newcastle.
It's not.
Hold on. That Crystal Palace are incompetent that they couldn't convince Igor. Here we go. I am faulting Liverpool for not agreeing the deal early. And we get in the here we go 2 weeks ago. Crystal Palace not responding, whatever, because they wanted 40 million. I have the tweet. My problem is Guehi was promised a move, right? He already went to do his medical.
He was only promised to move at the moment because they accepted it. Fair enough. If you're saying
so, why is it his fault that Crystal Palace are incompetent?
Because at the end of the day, he was promised that move based on a contingent move happening.
Did they tell him that we're only going to let you go if Igor goes through?
That's probably 100%. That's probably what happened. They said, "Cool, we've got a replacement. We're going to let you go now."
So
shit!
Can I ask you something, Cam? What if he was promised a move and he made everything and he bought a house? Let me just put this, and he actually sold his house or bought a house and did everything, and the family's preparing, and it takes 2 days for transfers, right? He was promised to move to Liverpool. Let me just put this scenario for you.
It doesn't take 2 days though.
No. Let me say he was promised a move. By the way, that deal happened.
His whole family was there, by the way.
By the way, just Cam. Let me just put this. Sometimes deals take 2-3 days. What I mean by this, the medical gets booked 2 days later. Let me give you an example. What if this deal was agreed on the 25th? And he went and found the house. And his medical was in the 29th. So these 3 days, he kind of put the house for sale, everything.
That's different. That is different, though.
Why is it different?
Because so your scenario is saying Crystal Palace 100% had enough time to figure everything out because in 3 days, 4 days, you have time.
And this is where I fault Liverpool
for
not putting the bid early.
Yeah, but see, for me now, because it happened at the very end, so none of that happened. So I actually would agree with you. If the families did all that, then you know what? The club's got to let him go. Like so he's made his plans. Same with like the Jack. You've got to let him go in that situation. At the very end of the window where you know that this was he hasn't moved, he hasn't done anything. It's like, sorry, dude, you got to stay another 5 months. Like I get it. I hear both sides, but what I'm saying is I don't agree with the uproar being like, he should have done this or that. He clearly didn't want to do that, or he would have. That's what I'm trying to say. He clearly wasn't promised to leave. He clearly didn't have those conversations. So it's like, this is just business.
No, he did because they accepted the bid.
But they accepted the bid at the very last minute because they finally got an offer. But they weren't going to. They literally waited all summer.
You're basically blaming Liverpool for no reason. So you just indirectly
blaming Liverpool for not bidding early.
I think Liverpool's at fault. I think you guys should have paid for him earlier. I think if you really wanted this player, you should have paid for him earlier.
I agree with this.
So I just showed you proof
good guys don't win, man. Good guys don't win.
We bid after the Community Shield.
No, Osam. The point is, Osam.
That's a month ago.
Yeah, Osam. You
good guys don't win.
As Oli said.
Hold that, Joe. By the way, Isak is a red.
As Oli said, wait. As Oli said in his video, and I checked the tweets. Crystal Palace were like willing to sell for 40+ million, and Liverpool and Newcastle both were not willing to pay more than 35 to 40 million. That is part of the reason why it took so long, because they waited. I believe, that is my belief, Liverpool didn't want to pay 50. If Liverpool bid 40, at least, or 40 plus, like 10 add-ons, Crystal Palace would have sold, because that's what David Ornstein said. That's what Fabrizio said, that Crystal Palace wants something close to 50, and that's what delayed. Your bid was 35. You actually, in the beginning, you wanted to pay 30. You have to admit, or you don't have to admit, that Liverpool played the risky game here, leaving it at the end. Sometimes you have to, if you want to get your player early and you're negotiating
at the end. That's the problem. You interrupt people when they build an argument based on falseness. Now, when we say give Crystal Palace time, when I tell you that the first bid was literally in August, which was reported by Fabrizio Romano a month ago. In a month, Crystal Palace were incapable of signing a centre back. This is Isak all over again when we're talking about replacements versus talking about money. There's a reason why they bid for a Kanji 2 weeks ago. There's a reason why they wanted Diomande a month ago, because they knew that Guehi wanted to leave. Now, because Guehi's a nice guy and he's not going to kick up a fuss and he's not going to hand in a transfer request and he's happy to see his contract through, he was never going to put in a transfer request and disrespect the football club that he grew up playing for. Completely understandable. You get me? As a person, that's the type of person he is. So now you come back all the way back as the same shit that we said during the Isak saga. Had Crystal Palace just been a competent football club and signed the replacement, he would have been a Liverpool player now. And the biggest hypocrite in all this is Glasner. Because a month from now, when Amarim gets sacked and Ineos approach, let me tell you why he's a hypocrite. So Glasner is doing all this to make sure that Palace are ready for the season and blah, blah, blah. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Google it, correct me if I'm wrong, Glasner's contract anyway runs out next summer, number one. Number two, according to Indy Kyla, who's been very reliable this season, he's waiting for the Man United job. Now, if Amarim gets sacked a month from now and Glasner goes to Manchester United, then he doesn't give a fuck about Crystal Palace. He doesn't give a fuck about Marc Guehi, who he stopped from making his dream move mid-medical, by the way. There's a reason you look at Fabrizio, right? Fabrizio pieces from this morning. He said, Marc Guehi is extremely angry. Marc Guehi is upset. He's considering whether to even continue as Crystal Palace captain anymore. So obviously, they screwed Marc Guehi. They screwed Liverpool Football Club, because if we got an answer a month ago when we bid, had they just said this shit a month ago, then this whole thing wouldn't have been...
But to get the answer a month ago, you would have to play... You would have to pay a premium a month ago, like August 16th.
But they gave, thank you, Martin. They gave you the answer a month ago. It's reported that...
No, the bid was ignored.
No, but like if you give them 45, then they've got more money to go and get a player immediately. Like if you lowball them for 30, they don't really like have a lot of options to go and replace Guehi with the quality that they need. You understand that you could have pushed that deal through earlier, and Palace were just there like waiting for sort of serious bids to come in, because I guess there were other teams that were interested technically in Guehi, but maybe he'd told them, I only want Liverpool, so it's then on Liverpool's court to like pay more money if they want to get the player locked in early. But why you guys didn't have anyone else lined up, I have no idea. Like
because the bid was accepted, so why should we have someone else lined up?
Yeah, they've already bought a centre back as well, haven't you? We bought the other guy.
Yeah, Leone.
Yeah. But he's like an 18-year-old, but
still though, right? So that's the fail-safe for you know.
So
who do you think is at fault, Joe? Then after Martin,
in this scenario, I don't think anybody's at fault.
How?
Someone
has to be at fault.
No. Well, okay. So if anybody, then
someone has to be at fault. This is YouTube.
Okay, so if anybody, it's probably going to be Glasner. I probably have to agree with Sam on that respect. If anybody, it's Glasner, because from what you read and see, everything was sorted. They were happy to sell. Liverpool were happy to pay. I think what it has shown us, though, and it's a sad state of affairs, that those that who've kicked off and refused to play, Vissa, of course, your man Isak as well, well done, Liverpool, they got their dream moves. But
didn't Vissa come back to training, or was
I actually I'm gonna respond to Joe and say something. I actually thought about this yesterday. I had a very good discussion. To be honest, with my wife, we discuss a lot of football transfers with my wife. I'm being serious, by the way. We watch Hussam, we watch like people, and then we discuss who's right and who's wrong. At the end,
Never him. You never both agree it's the Sam, do you?
but he's a brother. You know that, right?
Let me say sorry as well. I was sleeping. I'm sorry to you folks and everybody. Okay,
That's
sorry.
the strike two.
Yeah, you
watch
slept
baseball.
last week as well. Don't sleep for 5
3
tomorrow.
times. That's the strike two. All the Americans and the Canadians will know what I'm talking about. Strike two. Anyway,
You're a grandpa, to be fair, so I get it. Midday nap.
let me say, I actually listened to Joe Hart said yesterday about Isak. At the end, and Sutton yesterday, and before I will do the super chats after, guys. Just give me 1 second to explain this. I actually understand why Isak did this. And from his point of view, he's selfish, and he looked out for himself. Right? Right? Do I agree with it? No. I wouldn't want to do it. And I would actually say that anybody that does this is a selfish rat that think about themselves, and it's against the contract. But the word I understand doesn't mean I agree with it. So I understand why he looked out for himself. He looked out for his family. He only wants about himself. Isak thought only about Alexander Isak, and he got his move. But I can't say that, and I say I understand. And I understand what Glasner did as well. Glasner did exactly what Isak did, but for himself. Glasner thought about himself. Glasner's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm only thinking about my job.
Plus, he's probably got his own agreements, right?
And that's why he threatened. Crystal Palace said he's thinking about himself.
The fact is,
I understand what Isak did. I disagree with it. I understand what Glasner did, and I disagree with it as well.
Imagine Isak.
But the fact is, if Glasner, but I hear what Hussam saying. The fact is,
scenarios. Cam, let me just say this because I've got to go pray and come back. Let's say Isak did exactly what Guehi did, right? Let's say the reverse, because we said, what if Guehi did what Isak did? Let's do the opposite. Let's do the thing that Just Joe, who's a football purist, wanted Isak to do. Turn up to training, go to preseason, but then just hand in a transfer request and you're going to get your move. Given how incompetent Newcastle have been this whole transfer window, do any of you genuinely believe had Isak been respectful, he would have been a Liverpool player now?
For money, yes. That's my belief. For 100, but you wouldn't pay 125, you would have paid 145. I believe.
Yeah. I think
that's okay. You can say that's an assumption. It's the same assumption as you assuming that Glasner will leave mid-season. I am assuming that if
it's not an assumption. It's Indy Kyla.
Okay,
he tweeted it yesterday. By the way,
he's waiting for it. My assumption is, have Isak handed a transfer request, right, and went to training, Newcastle would have accepted a bid, but it's not 125. It would be 140, 145.
Yeah. So but then
that's
Liverpool wouldn't have to pay. But then Liverpool wouldn't pay 145. By definition, he would have been a Newcastle player still because he was respectful. But that's the problem.
Maybe Liverpool would have paid.
But that,
and by the way,
that's life.
They just paid 55 million.
Bro, that's just how it is. Guehi didn't want to be a Liverpool player as badly as Isak did, and he didn't have the same price tag. Like I could say the same thing as like Believer probably wanted to go to United, but he was like, I'm also cool to stay. So if he pushed for that move, if he went hard, as soon as we said we were interested, if he said, you know what, I'm going on strike, I'm not playing, I guarantee you we would have got it for like, because when players make that hard stance that this is where I'm going, it makes it very difficult on their clubs. Like at the end of the day, the reason why I backed the Gyökeres one is because I truly believed he probably had that deal in place, because why wouldn't he have left the year before? They said, listen, please stay. We'll let you go next year. So that's why I've always been like, when a player does the right by the club, then
what's
the club.
What's the right way to do it then?
But no, but
like,
look at Cherky.
Because what's the right way to do it?
No, but hold on.
I tweeted that yesterday. I don't know if a player wants to go, ambition, and he signed the contract. And also how to protect clubs if players go on strike.
Mo, for me, the right thing is when you do these now players are seeing these handshake deals, these like, I'm going to do right by my club. I'm going to like stick around because you promised me this. Like, I think the right way to do it for any of these dudes is contracts, man. You got to have it in your contracts because at the end of the day, that's
you can't put everything on contract.
That's the only thing you can hold. Because look at Cherky. Cherky got that was a sweetheart deal. That was them saying, we promise we'll let you go for X amount. There's no way he should have went for that little, but the club promised him that and they kept their promise, right? Like the only way you can make sense of it. It's the only way you can make sense of that, right?
You might have had it in writing.
There's probably something, I bet you. There's probably
I said yesterday that, in my opinion, to solve all these problems, in my opinion, there should be in every contract a couple of things. A clause that is a fine with millions if players go on strike. And in the same time, a release clause for every player now in every contract. If the player wants to go, the club gets a certain amount of money that is agreed before the contract is signed.
So you
in that time, both parties are protected.
So
if the player doesn't want to play, he forfeits his
so to
contract.
not upset the chat, because I always get pissed, people always get mad when I bring up other sports. That's exactly how it works in the NBA. That's exactly how it works in the NFL. Players will still get their moves. They still force. They sit out. They take huge fines. They take massive fines. There's players who have, and it hasn't always worked out. Like if anybody watches the NFL, what's his name? The running back, Le'Veon Bell. The dude sat out for basically a whole season because he didn't want to play for the Steelers. When it actually came to fruition, he had lost way more money than he would have if he had just played to get a move.
And the release clause, and it's simply,
it's
you know what? If Isak, for example, Arsenal signed Eucharist. If Eucharist scores 20 goals, 30 goals, and he wants to move to Real Madrid, he wants to leave, Arsenal should put in the contract, listen, if you want to go, you forfeit the rest of your contract, and the release clause is 80 million pounds. Mm-hmm. If we get it, you leave. That's how we're signing a contract. And if you go on strike, you actually pay us fine with millions, because these are multi-millionaires. That way, you protect both parties. Because currently,
that's why we lost interest in Sesko, because he wanted to put a sell-on clause into his thing, like a release clause. And we don't normally want players that actually demand a release clause, because then it sounds like they're using us as a stepping stone, which I guess is an issue for certain clubs of certain sizes, right? Like this is why it's such a big deal to get Isak out of Newcastle, is because he's their crown jewel. He's the face of the project. He's everything aspirational about that club.
Let me ask you something, Martin. Do you believe that he has the right to demand to leave Newcastle to go to a bigger club to win trophies, as he said in his interview?
Only if his agent has secured the actual legal framework of that would I agree that he has.
So what if Newcastle hold him hostage until the end of his contract? How do we solve
You're not being held hostage. You signed that contract. I hate that statement.
It's not hostage. It's like an employment contract. Like you agree to get paid, and then they own you. It's kind of the arrangement. You get paid a lot of money. The clubs get to tell you what to do. Now, you get paid. He's probably got paid enough from Newcastle where he could sit in his ass for 3 years not getting paid and still be rich and not have an issue out of it. But no one wants to lose 3 years out of their career at their prime.
What about his future? What if that happens to a player at Leeds? Forget Newcastle. What if that happens to a player at Leeds? A player that is turned out to be magnificent. You signed a player from Serie A, from Spanish, and he turned out to be magnificent. Let's say Gnonto went out to be what they thought he was going to be. You remember when Gnonto joined the Premier League, they thought this guy's going to be the next big thing. What if he's that and he signed a 6-year contract and he wants to leave? And he gets paid 80K a week at Leeds, and he's like, I'm worth way more than this. What happens then?
Well, to be honest, we sort of had it really with Rafinha and Calvin, and we let them go. We let them have their dream moves. You know what I mean? We let Rafinha. We accepted less from Barcelona because Chelsea were in for him as well, so that he could go get dream moves.
Yep.
And he went to Barcelona, and then Calvin went to City. So we sort of had it. It's hard though. I get it. Listen, I haven't been at the top table for long enough for this to really have a raw feeling. If I had, then I would be able to draw upon it.
Well, I've seen it. You were like 13 years old when your team was good. Yeah.
This was a Newcastle moment of welcome to the top, because it's.
I'll tell you what I am pissed at though. I'll tell you what I am pissed at, lads, and it just. So obviously we did nothing on deadline day, right? But we wanted a right winger that can play in the 10.
Do you know, I thought you got Harry Wilson, and I kept saying that you got Harry Wilson, and then I saw the news later, and I saw how you were fuming at it, and I'm like, this is fucking shit.
No, but do you know what's even worse? And this is for Chelsea fans, like, they took Buonanotte from Brighton, and we'd agreed a deal. He was on his way to Leeds. He was going to get on the flight. They've took him for a year with no obligation and no option, which is what we were going to do. But he's going to play every week for Leeds. So he's going to go to Chelsea, and they're not even in the Conference League. So he's not in no second-rate team. They're in the Champions League. So for me, Buonanotte has wasted a season of his life. Like, why has he gone to Chelsea for a season? You tell me how many games, realistically, Buonanotte is going to play at Chelsea.
Well, he's gone to Strasbourg for the season?
No,
for a month.
Chelsea.
He's not going to play at all.
No, the Enciso went to Strasbourg. Buonanotte.
Sorry, yeah.
Enciso didn't go through.
Oh, didn't he? But
Enciso didn't go
we
through.
talk about, he wants to win trophies. He's not going to play enough bloody games. I don't understand why Buonanotte has just gone to Chelsea for a season when he could have gone, because there's no option or obligation.
Maybe he's out of favor with Herzl or something like that. Like he feels like he's not going to get game time there, and he needs to.
No, but he was coming to Leeds though. This is what I'm
Oh, he
saying.
was coming to Leeds.
Yeah.
Oh,
The flight was booked.
Buonanotte?
Yeah.
Well,
So I don't get why Chelsea even wanted him.
Exactly.
Like,
Let me do these super chats, guys.
Makes no sense.
We got 1,400 people in the house, guys. Can we get the likes up a little bit, guys? My man, if I remember correctly, one of the experts on this panel actually said that Newcastle played us a couple of weeks ago. What a take! Newcastle tried to play Liverpool, and Liverpool bullied them with the help of Alexander Isak. Newcastle never thought, and I'm gonna repeat this again. Since the beginning of the window, Newcastle never thought, if you want to banter, and I was wrong about it. Newcastle never saw Isak's strike coming. They never saw it. That's why they were so adamant he's not for sale, my friend. But Liverpool played like a big boy. And I said that Newcastle are pussies. As a football club, and I'm being serious here, as a football club, Newcastle now have no respect from anybody because you kept telling us all summer the player is not for sale, or if we sell him, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And then you sold him. So basically, no respect for you. And I bet you guys, next summer, there will be a player forcing a move out. And I'm telling you who's going to be from now. It will be Anthony Gordon. If they don't make Champions League, Anthony Gordon is doing exactly what he did to Everton. He's going to do it to Newcastle again.
only if he performs.
Because he saw it. The problem is because he saw it, that it worked with Isak and it worked for him. He's going to do it again.
But
he's going to go on strike.
You have to
perform
convince a
at that
player
level.
that there's like they're joining a serious project that's going to get better and stay at a very high level. And if they can't convince him with like the signings, then every club's got that problem. I remember when we weren't qualifying for the Champions League, we couldn't buy anyone.
But let me tell, but clubs don't budge. Here's the difference. Don't budge. Like Liverpool didn't budge on Coutinho until they saw Salah get better, and then they sold him in January. They didn't budge. Harry Kane, Daniel Levy didn't budge. Harry Kane, Daniel Levy said, no, you are playing for us unless I get the 150 from Man City. And Harry Kane at the end played, and then he got the move.
Like Palace did with Zaha, like when they kept him for
yes, I remember that. Let me do
many
this.
years.
Let me go
They
through
did.
this. I appreciate you guys, everyone. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe. Got 1,400 people in the house. Glasner needs Guehi for his own interest. I agree. Acting like he did this for the best interest of the club is laughable. Palace finishing mid-table regardless. I hear it. Like I don't know why Glasner. What does Glasner think he's gonna do this season? Challenge for Champions League spots, or he's playing Conference League? Like I don't get what Glasner aim is. Like what? Get Champions League football?
I think anything on his resume.
You literally sold your best player with Eze and you didn't replace him. So what are you expecting? Like
Anything on his resume at the end of the day, I think, man. At the end of the day.
he's getting the Man United job if he leaves. I don't know why he's so adamant that he's gonna do fucking something this season. Like with all due respect, to Newcastle, at least with Isak, at least to give them the benefit of the doubt, they think Isak is gonna get them Champions League again. So yes, what is Glasner gonna do?
But he just doesn't want to get embarrassed, right? He's probably had agreements from the ownership that he was going to get players. That didn't happen. But like to see Guehi leave on the last day would have been like the last straw for him, I think, and just be like, how am I supposed to work with this crap? I'm out. And I don't blame him for like putting his foot down. He probably had his own.
If I say that I understand what Isak did, I understand what Glasner did. He did it for himself only. He's a selfish guy, and he only thought about himself. He never thought about Guehi. He never thought about the club. He didn't care about it. He thought about himself, and I think that Isak did the same. And we are in this day and age. It's a power play. Whoever can pull the move on the other can do it. It happens with everyone. Wesa did it, right?
Yeah.
Like it happens. It happens with every club now. By the way, if clubs want to force a player out, they can destroy their future as well by putting them. But the only thing is they can never not pay them. Clubs have to pay the player the wages. Palace with Guehi are favorites for Conference League, especially with Glasner's track record of winning Conference League plus Europa League next season will make Palace more money than 35 million. Probably, Zayn, that's what he thought. Thank you, Tyler, for the support. Actually, so Palace couldn't get Guehi a new contract to sign a replacement, and it's all boo-hoo, cry me, a river. Nah, lazy argument. Palace did this to themselves. I disagree. They were gonna sign Igor, and the problem is all parties. In my opinion, all parties at fault a little bit. And I believe that if Liverpool wanted Guehi that much, they could have offered 40 million. And I believe that they might have let him go. They might, because as the tweet is there, they wanted close to 50. And Liverpool offered only 35 at that time. Liverpool
They're playing
increased
chicken though, right? Like, they're just going to pick him up in January.
100% for 20 million. I'm telling you, or 15 million. 15 million, he's gone. 15 million, he's gone. Konate isn't injured. He's at French camp. It was cramps. Okay, fair enough, Ed. I thought he's injured. But Liverpool are playing a dangerous game. I want to go to the football now. I'm fucking so happy that the transfer window ended because it's fucking weird, bro. It's fucking weird.
I'm not.
No,
You want to keep going?
Yeah, I'm over the transfer window too. I'm over it.
I'm kind of now know that in January we're gonna have another fucking saga, like Isak saga again, with another player that is gonna force a move from a club that is not happy at. You know that is gonna happen. Glasner did what a player do. He made a fit so about himself, even though he might leave the club. So can't be mad at him. I agree with this.
That's the funny part, man. You're leaving anyway, Glasner. Like, why are you doing this, bro? Like, Palace are not as bad as Leeds to
I'm
be in
usually
a
leaving if Amorim fails.
and they're not as good as like a Newcastle to be in a top 4 race. Man, we already know where you're gonna be. You're gonna be in that 8 to 12 range anyway. So ain't shit gonna change with Guehi or not.
Who, me?
Who's you? He's
No.
talking about Guehi and Leeds.
He said Leeds as well, man.
No, I
If
said they're
Guehi
not as shit as Leeds.
if Guehi had done an Isak, Crystal Palace would have had more urgency in finding a replacement. I feel we'll use this to get him and Wharton in January, brownie points. So now Liverpool fans, because it worked, they want every player to throw a fit. What is going on? What is going on now with football?
This is the new Liverpool. This is very different from the Klopp Liverpool, which they cannot keep up with everyone spending
Like,
money. This
seriously,
is
what
like
the fuck?
This is Man United of the 90s Liverpool, isn't
exactly.
it?
You're gonna take your best player.
We didn't make players throw fits though. They just did it.
Like Liverpool fans now want us.
Yeah,
to
we
say,
didn't
"Oh,
ask Isak to throw a fit. He did it.
That's why I never faulted Liverpool.
Yeah, he did it by himself.
Let him finish, Hussam. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man. Let us finish for some.
In the
I did
words
let him
of the
finish.
great Lil Kim, he literally didn't speak for 17 minutes. Throw them lighters up. What a gaslighter you are, Mo. Stop winding up. So I wind him up and he doesn't wind me up. Like, what the fuck, bro, Ed? Ed, fuck off. Like, he annoys the shit out of me as well. And I know
He's just sensitive about his own club, like it's normal. He accuses me of being too sensitive.
I am very sensitive about Inter, and everyone knows.
Yeah,
that.
I
I
know.
am very sensitive about Inter as well.
It's
Now, big up,
normal.
Ed. First time with money and acting insufferable. Hashtag Liverpool. That's funny.
They won't
Yeah, money.
spend for a bit though now, will they?
You will see. You will see
You
Wharton.
reckon?
You will see.
What about Morgan Rogers? I've seen that as well.
You see the Harvey Elliott money that is coming? That's
Mm,
Morgan
true.
Rogers. That's half Morgan Rogers money.
That's an installment for Morgan Rogers.
That's half Morgan Rogers money. You'll see. Liverpool are adamant to actually do the 80s again. And I respect it. They're adamant. They're adamant to not do what Man United did with Alex Ferguson. They are adamant that if Salah leaves and Van Dijk leave, they have a sufficient team to win, not to challenge, not to make Champions League, to win.
It gets worse for you, Joe.
I'm
According
not
to
bothered me.
Bayern
I don't mind
sources-
Liverpool, bro.
No. I mean, in terms of like the question you asked, right? They won't spend as much anymore. Well, let me tell you what the Bayern sources are saying. When we sell Salah to Saudi next summer for 80 million, we're going to use that money to buy fucking Olise. So enjoy, mate.
Really?
Yep. It's only going to be Olise,
maybe you might need to.
Isak,
You might need
It's
to
only
rush
going to be Olise, Isak, and
Bro, I
Rodrigo.
might
with
need to
Wirtz behind
fucking
them.
be a Liverpool
Bro, you might
fan
need
now.
to rush
What the
that
fuck
through
is
for
this?
January
Bandwagon,
because
bro.
where's Salah? Where's
Bandwagon.
Salah been so far? You might need to rush it through in January.
Joe, it doesnn't matter. If Salah scores from here until the end of the season 5 goals, Saudi will at least come with £60 million bid. You know it. You know
But at
it,
least
right?
we squeezed the shit out of the lemon and we still sold it for double the price we bought it for.
Mo, can you slow Husam's voice? I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't know what you mean by slow his voice. I don't know what you mean.
Tutup mulutmu.
You got your answer. I didn't know what that means.
Neither
Sam Guehi's camp after the first bid said that Guehi wouldn't force and play another year as he loves Palace. So why should Guehi take the Isak route and stop training if he's happy to play for Palace?
Man, that's my point. You're asking me a question. That's my point.
No. He was happy to stay.
Yeah, I know. That's my point. Nice guys finish last.
Yeah,
the
they do.
guy,
This is proof.
the
This
guy
is
in the
proof.
last game scored the goal, went and clapped the fans, had an emotional moment mid-medical. Yallah, khalas. By the
Then
way,
here you
So
go.
do
You got
think
your
that the
answer.
relationship between the player and the fans is actually like important to maintain. Like you spend a lot of effort to like generate like a lot of goodwill from the fans, and then to have that be blown up. to get
Nobody
your
cares
move-
about the fans. Martin, nobody cares about the fans.
I
Only
think some
Arsenal
players
fans,
do.
only Arsenal fans develop this thing with players that haven't played long enough. Like
No, but you're saying
number one,
Guehi lost. He's still going to get his deal. He just hasn't like completely blown up everything.
he
that
wanted to play
wanted
for
to tell.
Liverpool this season.
No, but he's going to get it in 6 months or whatever. Like it's no big deal, and he gets to keep his reputation. He doesn't have to like look like a petulant child.
His
to get-
reputation. Guehi now is not happy at Crystal Palace. He's not going to be focused in football now. What are
No,
you
I
saying?
think he
What
will,
else is he
man.
gonna
I think
do?
he will.
I'm
grab
just
at it?
saying, clubs treat players like shit. It works both ways. Andrew, I disagree with you. Clubs cannot actually stop paying players. This is just known, right? They treat them like they put them under 21, but they have to actually
Trust
now
me,
pay
if
them.
that was a thing, we would have stopped paying a lot of our players.
Bro, Man United are paying a lot of money because they must pay, because they fucking signed the contracts, right? So it can be okay for clubs to do it to players they don't want. Then they get angry when the best players want to leave. You don't understand. It's about the money. It was all about the money, guys. Why people don't think about this? But W's guys for Tyler. Thank you, Tyler, for supporting the channel. W's guys for Tyler in the chat, please. Thank you, Habibi. Same way we should have extended rent contract or planned for a backup is the same thing for Guehi. Clubs know years in advance. Poor planning. Liverpool pay up for Palace incompetence. These are stink arguments. I'm gonna respond to you one thing. Crystal Palace are happy to let him go on a free next season. Actually, they're just happy. The difference is they're not calling him anything. They're just saying they're happy. Tyler, what you don't understand is they accepted the bid at the end because they found a replacement. Once that replacement is gone, they said, we are happy to let you go on a free or cheaper in January. That's what you don't understand. It's so different than Trent. He was happy. He said many times he's happy to see out his contract, Tyler. Like he is not dying to move. Luke Edwards' hate piece on Isak is a disgrace, fueling hatred on a player, especially one of color. Don't bring the color into it because I don't know if the color is part of it. Show a lack of education on bigger issues outside of football for the sake of create headlines. I didn't like what he wrote about Isak, like down tools. However, everyone now that wants to speak about Isak downing tools and all the stuff at Newcastle, it is wrong. But no people have actually talked about other players downing tools at Man United, at other clubs as well.
You want to know the issue? The issue is, I don't know if you actually, by the way, I don't know if you
I
know what
couldn't
he's-
read the article. I couldn't get paid.
No,
like
I don't know if
could.
you know what he's referring to.
I
Let me
know.
tell
He
you
said
exactly
that
what-
Isak down tools since April to not make the
Not down
Newcastle
tools. That's not the
Champions-
reason why Isak might be suing him. It's bigger than that. Watch this, yeah. So the people who don't know as well in the chat will get to know.
Yeah,
about
please
this.
let us know. Can you
Going
share it
to
on the
Luke
screen?
Edwards. La, it's on my phone. Let me tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
Inside stories. Wait. Let me tell you. Some insiders suggest from April onwards, Isak was behaving and playing like someone who did not want the team to qualify for the Champions League, as he knew it would make it harder for him to explain to how and the supporters why he wanted to go.
It's wild.
So he's essentially
Yeah, that is very well.
Defamation.
using Isak of like match fixing and losing on purpose.
That's
Yeah, that's
defamation.
wild because that's fraud. That's jail.
You
Nah,
see,
right.
these are the people you believed from the start of the summer, Mo. Never
Jail
again.
time.
That's defamation of character. He could easily sue. Like,
Again,
you-
I'm not. Listen, I don't know Luke Edwards, but I believe that he was informed that Isak is not for sale. He explained it, and I know that you guys are saying stuff like this, but I believe that Newcastle, because of that last meeting, I believe that Newcastle intention were not to sell him, and that's why they let go of Ekitike that easy. Isak and Guehi deals common denominator, whatever. Executive AWOL or drop the ball. Top clubs manage relations and players in and out with win drama. Loads
With minimum drama. Remember,
minimum drama.
key definitions. Yeah, go ahead.
loads self-harm, lazy chat to blame players and buying clubs. Okay, you're a Liverpool fan, and I get what you mean. I want to see the same reaction if someone forces a move out of your club.
I don't have
Seriously.
to show the same reaction.
No, but
I'm allowed
that's
to
how.
be tribal because it's football. It's not baseball, bro.
Yeah, I get it, but
We're allowed to be tribal.
we
We're
are
allowed
saying,
to be hypocrites.
as
Nothing
long
wrong
as
with
you, as long as we admit that
that. Yeah,
opinion is
100%. I am
that
very
opinion,
tribal.
yeah. As long as that opinion is based on tribalism, not based on logic, I will live with it. You know what? If I say I don't want that penalty to be called against my team because I like my team, as long as I say that I would not want it against my team, I'm fine with it. Andrew said, what if it doesn't want to leave the club? Say bye. Because he thought that the deal is going, but during the whole summer, he was happy to see out his contract. Literally, Ornstein tweeted that, guys. Like, how do I have to actually say that many times, Andrew? Hussam is right on this. Crystal Palace should have sold. I think they waited till the end for no reason because they wanted the money. Better to sell than leave on free. Guehi was so professional. That is an opinion.
Thank you.
I
And that's
agree.
that guy who's a Chelsea fan, by the way.
I agree. That's why, see the guy, that's why I say that Liverpool should sell Konate early to get 40 million pounds for him, then let him go on a free. See,
Liverpool
I have
can
the same
afford
opinion.
to do it FFP wise. Palace can't.
I'm not informed on the Palace situation and financial fair play.
Yeah, but PSR wise, they have to sell. We don't.
So the guy, I have the same opinion as well. But I don't know the ins and outs. Maybe they didn't want to sell for 35 million.
Same wrong opinion. Yes.
See you for 15 million in January, Guehi.
15 million. I think you guys are crazy if you think Liverpool will pay a cent above 10.
I think
10 million,
Liverpool
and
now,
you will literally.
I think
By the way,
Liverpool are gonna be so
Glasner won't
picky
even
now.
be at Palace then. 10 million January 1st. He's a Liverpool player.
Yo,
10
What if
million.
some other club comes in with more money?
If United keep playing the way we're playing, Glasner's not coming this year.
What?
Because Eimer won't get fired if we keep playing well. We're
When have
playing
you
well.
played well?
We've had three. We played well in all three of our games. Not the Grimsby game, but all of our Prem games. We played well.
Who
We
have?
have.
Man United?
We played well. Yeah. We played good football.
Are you being for real?
We just didn't score goals, but we played good football. We did.
When?
In the first three games, we played well. We didn't play
the
bad.
fuck?
The performances weren't shit. Like, this is the thing. This is the problem with like everybody wanting to banter and not watch the games. But we
Bro, I
played
watched the game. You did not play well against basement dwellers Burnley. You were celebrating a goal kick. This is not Man United.
So you wait.
Sorry.
So you watch the game and you think that we didn't. We absolutely mollywopped them. Other than the fact that they scored their two chances, that was it.
Did you?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think the
We
standards
had-
are on the
we
floor.
had
If you
6
think you're
big
playing well right
chances.
now, if you think you're playing well right now, then you cannot be helped.
Okay, guys, can we go to the? I need to do the rest of the subject as a Chelsea fan.
Can we? What we saying?
There's only 4 left.
Just
4
one
left.
moment. Are we saying Man United are playing well or what?
There's just 4 left, and then you can talk about Man United, whatever.
No.
There's 4 left. As a Chelsea fan, every club and fan is hypocrite when it happens against you, Trent and Isak. You cry, but if it happens for you, Isak and Wissa, you enjoy. Fair enough. As long as people are honest about it, I'm with you guys. Stop saying Liverpool fans because one fan talks shit.
Come on. Everyone uses that for Arsenal fans. Oh, the problem with Arsenal fans. The problem with
Jeff,
Arsenal fans.
but you know that I don't mean every single one fan. Oh my God. Jeff, stop that. You know that when I say many or all, I don't mean every single one. Of course, there are people. Speak on the Luke Edwards slander to Isak Mo. I actually didn't know that he said that. I thought he said that he down tools because he wasn't interested. I didn't know that he said that he was match fixing. That is horrendous to be honest. How can he's gonna sue him now? And it's Luke Edwards is so stubborn that it's gonna be his downfall. Glasner will not sell Marc Guehi to Liverpool without a replacement. Threatened to resign as a coach if Marc Guehi was sold without a good centre back in the doors. Became a dilemma for the board. That's it. Okay, fair enough. You kind of summarize the story. That's fair enough. Why is football world angry we signed Isak? Can someone answer this? It's very good. I like this comment. Can someone be honest about this and say why? Joe, Joe, you're so angry at the Isak saga. Why? Why are you so angry?
No, I'm past Isak now. I'm on about Man United playing well, apparently. But we'll get
Okay, okay. Just quickly answer this. Answer this.
I think it's the way in which. Listen, I'm not angry, right? Like at the end of the day,
You were so
I don't
angry.
mind Liverpool. I don't mind Liverpool. It is what it is. But it's the manner in which they've gone about it, and also what it does do is sort of like, look, no one likes anybody doing well.
Okay.
Nobody likes anybody doing well, and with signing Isak, you look at it now and you go, "Fuck." So, like, I don't know. We could be in for a little bit of a little bit of Liverpool dominance. They best do anyway, because you know they talk about the quadruple every season, but now they must, right?
We don't talk about the quadruple.
Yes, you do.
The media
Yes,
talk
you
about the
do.
quadruple. No club in history ever.
You
won the
always
quadruple.
talk about it though.
No one.
I
Liverpool
think
fans
currently,
every season.
Liverpool now are equipped as good as Manchester City in 22-23 to actually win the treble. Am I wrong to say that? Like, isn't this the time for Liverpool? Arsenal don't look as great. City
No,
don't look
because
as
PSG
great.
still exists, mate.
You're better than PSG.
Yeah.
And you're better. Healthcare isn't free in the US. You're giving Mo a stroke. Inshallah, Fonzie, I'm not going to have a stroke.
بعد الشر.
I think people don't like the Isak thing because Liverpool's going to like another big Premier League team and just taking whatever they want and like making themselves stronger. If you've gone and bought someone from another league or whatever, it feels like you're making the league better, maybe. But now it just feels like you're bullying people. I guess people have a problem with that. I don't know. I think more power to Liverpool. You guys have saved money for a while. You get to spend money, but like you better hope.
I think the
ones
ones that are the most upset about this are Arsenal fans. Just be honest. Arsenal fans.
I don't think so.
Upset.
Arsenal fans should be the most upset about it
They are the most upset
because
They are.
Arsenal was briefing the world over and over and over all last year that Isak's their number one target. They're going to do whatever they can to get him.
Oh, thank you.
I think that was fan fiction. I don't know if that ever did that ever get.
That was literally like everybody was saying. That was literally everywhere.
That
Like
was
this is
just
their
fans
number one
going,
player.
I want Isak. I don't remember the club ever like briefing.
It was literally everywhere.
I think we evaluated it. And we
You may have
decided
just ignored it,
wasn't
but it was
happening.
everywhere.
Too much money.
Arteta's dream is Isak going all out. If he becomes available, we'll do whatever we can. And then Liverpool comes and
And the Liverpool signed him for
That's just
125
Joe
million.
talking
They didn't even sign him for
Martin,
150.
it's not fan fiction because Hand of Arsenal reported it. Let's not do this.
No, I'm saying it's
man,
true.
Arsenal.
Is it not
He's
true?
an
No, I said
ITK,
Martin. No, I
Martin, he's
said
an
Martin. I said
ITK.
Martin, not you, Cam. I said
Oh.
Martin.
He's
Okay,
an
bro,
R.
like-
He's an ITK.
Yeah, come on,
Sam
it's
is
Hand of
right.
Arsenal now. We ain't talking about a random guy.
No, this was everywhere. Like I'm like as somebody who I was like I was confused. I'm like, am
I
I just
actually have a different opinion. But
Everywhere.
before we go to the Arsenal, because I want to speak, because me and Joe were actually talking about it.
Anyway, guys, wait. Did you guys who here watched the Isak interview?
I did.
I ain't got time.
Did you watch any of the clips like with him walking in Liverpool shirt and shit? Wallah, it looks scary. Be honest. Like it's just like like he just owns the room when he walks in with the Liverpool
Wow.
shirt.
Oh my God.
No, we're doing this. Here we go.
Says Isak on the back. The aura is off the charts.
aura.
guys. And you want to know the problem? Can I tell you guys something genuinely? You want to know what our first game after the international break is? Fucking Burnley.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking score like 50.
I don't
It's
he
going
won't
to
play.
be a stat bad sesh like crazy,
You know, I
bro.
feel sorry for
Do you
Ekin.
think
We're
he'll
gonna
play?
stat bad to
I don't think he's
smithereens.
gonna play.
I don't think he's going to play, man.
I don't think he's gonna play.
No, he's gonna play Sweden against Slovenia this Friday. I'm gonna.
He's gonna play one game with Sweden and then come back. I think.
I
That's
don't
it.
think they'll
think he's
start
gonna
him against Burnley, man. They won't.
No.
Maybe we don't have to start him 45 minutes and he scores 4 goals.
So you're
against
gonna
Burnley.
Yeah,
But
but if you
he
think
can't
about
after
it, right?
45
If you
minutes.
think about it, Man United only just beat them, and Man United have been playing amazing. So that
No, I
Burnley
didn't
game
say
might not.
amazing.
Okay,
I
can we
said-
go before we go to
Right.
the football? Let's go to fucking Manchester. And
Okay, yeah.
what
Let me just
the
know.
fuck
Let
are
me
you
speak first.
waffling about?
Let me
What
speak
the-
first. Let me speak first because
speak,
at the
yeah,
end
go
of the day,
speak.
I get it. Everybody wants to take the piss, but I'm going to use actual fucking objective speaking.
That's what
'cause
Man United think. Oh,
no,
again,
here,
again,
no. Listen,
again with the thing about Man United think that we're all here to banter Man United, not be objective.
At the end
Bro,
of the-
your club is irrelevant
Look
in
at
the
how
Premier
quickly you
League.
jump. You are such a Man United hate. I love it. You're just you
Oh
can't.
my
you
God,
can't-
he
you
thinks I'm
can't-
saying
you
this because I
can't-
hate Man United.
You can't control yourself. You just can't. You cannot control yourself. It's fine. I get it. I understand. You're the one, Mo, you're the one, and Husam's my witness. You're the one who was saying, why would anybody go to United? Newcastle's doing better. Villa, but you were like one of the main guys who were consistently saying, we're a dead club. Why would Forest people would rather go to? You were one of those motherfuckers who kept saying it, and Husam kept telling you, it's Man United. They're still way ahead of all those clubs.
Cam watches MHF clearly.
I watch. He was there saying
He's bad.
off base, and all these players are not choosing Newcastle,
And they shouldn't have.
that. And guess what?
Players get worse being
let me
only
finish.
linked to your
let
club.
me finish. Let me finish.
Oh my
Because
God,
you
you're
were the
calling
motherfucker
me
saying
out.
all of it, and you were proven wrong this summer. Very wrong. Guess what? We're
Your
still
club
relevant.
is fucking dusted.
We are still relevant. You want us to go away, but we're still relevant.
You're
We
as
still got our
relevant to
target.
the Premier League as Inter are to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
my word.
let me
Grimsby. Do you
first
not
start off.
remember the Grimsby game?
The Grimsby game, we were atrocious. I'm going to be objective. We were terrible in that game, but I'm not talking about that game.
But you
Arsenal?
look the same as all the other games.
No, Arsenal against Arsenal.
Very
If
good.
it wasn't for our keeper error, you don't score, and that's a draw. And that's
Yeah,
a
but
terrible
you
result
guys
for you.
weren't scoring either. You're just kicking it long and like hoping
At
for the
the
best.
end of the day, we had Bozo finishing like we have all year. You guys were great defense, by the way. I'm not hating
You
on
had,
our
no, you had no real clear chances.
No, like, we didn't have great chances. We had the one save for me that a lot of people kind of glossed over when Cunha, like the Raya fingertips it. That was a fucking ridiculous save. That was a ridiculous save, and that would have been a goal. We've seen Cunha.
That was some Cunha brilliance right there.
No,
yeah.
but that is fine. Individual brilliance is fine, but let's keep it a buck. We played well against you guys. If it wasn't for our keeper, you don't fucking score. You come out of that 1-1, and all of a sudden we come out of that 0-0, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, Man United stood up to the mighty Arsenal this year, who should be winning the league. So that's one game. The next game against Fulham, we did not finish our chances, and Bruno misses a penalty. Mr. 92% from the spot misses a penalty, unheard of.
Did you play well in that game against Fulham?
Yeah, we were mediocre.
You played well for 5 minutes, and then that was it.
We were mediocre in that game. But then Burnley game, I'm sorry, guys. I get it. But I can name 6 chances off the top of my head, just without going back. Ahmad, open net. Bruno normally slots it in. What? Like, we missed so many big chances. No, hold on. Let me finish. Because when I've had to sit back all year and talk about how bad we are, and I'm the first to say it, we've been bad. We look terrible. But we finally are creating more chances than the opposition, passing it around, more possession. We are finally looking good on the pitch. We're still big problems where we are not finishing our dinner. And I agree, that's a big problem, but we are finally looking fluid. We're finally controlling games. And I completely understand that we didn't finish our dinner. But we still played well against Burnley. We still played well against Arsenal. We were mediocre against Fulham. If we can just continue to play like we did against Burnley and Arsenal through the rest,
you'll finish mid-table.
Oh,
Staffy heard it and he's like, "Nope, I'm coming back."
of course he is.
What did I hear?
You'll finish
I
mid-table.
thought you actually listened to what Cam is saying.
No,
I
I'm
was
saying,
putting with Optimum to fix my upload speed.
no.
I was arguing with some Indian lady on the phone.
He's arguing that you're playing.
I
good
think we
football
played
and
well
Man
against
United-
Arsenal.
Let's go. دقيقة. Momo. Tell Staffy what Cam said.
Staffy, I'll tell
Can I just add, though? Can I just add?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell him, Cam.
Staffy, I think United played well against Arsenal, and I think we played well against Burnley. I'm not going to sit
they
here and say
played well
we played
this
bad.
season.
That's not a bad take. It's not a bad take.
It is a bad take. You have not played well this season, Staffy.
Wait, hold on. So he said we played well against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
agree with
I
that.
agree with that. We already
Burnley, I think the first half especially, I think we played better. I'm not gonna act like, all right, we can see 2 goals in the
Burnley,
second half.
I get it, but we still played well.
Yeah, you can say in the majority of the game, but it wasn't a great performance because you still allowed 2 goals.
Okay,
I'll be real.
Fair.
But if you want to say it's a better performance, the 2 atrocious performances was Fulham, and I don't know what the fuck happened in the Grimsby game because I refused to watch that game.
But
I didn't watch it. I was never gonna watch it. People asked me to watch highlights. I was never gonna do that.
I'd never
gonna do it.
But Cam, you know, you on that Arsenal game, you've been talking. You made a point of saying, "Oh, but they got the keeper error, and if it weren't for the keeper error, it's 1-1." You got a penalty against Burnley, so if you don't get the penalty, you're drawing. Do you know what I mean? We can all do swings and roundabouts.
No. But you hear what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, something that was so avoidable. Like, I agree the penalty was avoidable. I agree with what you're saying, but the fact is we missed so many big chances in that game, dude. It should have been
And just to clarify, like it's been said in the chat, so we've actually established you think you've played well in 2 games. So you've played 4 games in total, and you've played okay in 2 games, and you say that's you playing well.
I don't think we played okay. I think we played well.
Can I tell you the truth,
This is insane.
from my opinion? Can I tell you my truth?
This is insane. This is Manchester United, isn't it?
I am someone in summer that actually backed Man United to play better because of the
Used
new
to be,
blood.
Joe.
Yeah,
because of the new blood.
If that's you playing well, then we're laughing then because we've been slapped up 5-0, right? And played Everton and played better than Manchester United have. So we're sound.
I do not think we played better than
And we got slapped up 5-0 by Arsenal.
And you didn't spend 200 million on buying a brand new.
So here's the thing: how are we having this conversation? Are we having this conversation as United being a good team, or as United being better than last season?
I'm gonna tell you where this conversation coming from. It's about
important.
Gladner. It's about Amorim. If the team continues like this, Cam says that there is no chance that Amorim gets sacked and Glasner comes in.
If we get results playing like this, they won't bring him in.
You said
I think if we continue
playing like this, we won't get Glasner as though you've been playing well. That's crazy. They would take Glasner tomorrow.
No,
I'd take Glasner tomorrow.
I would too, but I don't speak about my personal opinion, and Sappy knows this a lot. I speak very realistically. And if we keep playing the way we've been playing and we start getting results, we are not firing Amorim.
All right, so here's the thing. If we continue to play the way we're playing, I don't think we'll continue to get results because I don't think I want to go into every game wasting we had 25 shots, I think, last game.
So sorry,
wasting all these shots.
I should say, and actually take the chances that I expect the players to. Because if you get that many big chances, I do not expect us to keep missing them. I just don't.
So I'll back you on this though. We do have the highest XG in the league right now, next to Chelsea's, and that's not a bad stat considering where we came from last season. We're at a 7.6 right now. It does show you that factually, and we played a tough fixture against Arsenal as well. So to have the highest XG in 3 games, that's not bad at all. The issue is that we're not taking our chances again like last season. However, there shouldn't be an excuse this season because we do have better players. Yep. The Fulham game was the biggest issue that I had because we struggled to create anything. Cunha had like 2 chances in the game. Let's be honest. One of them was just mainly because the goalkeeper just decided to go the length of the pitch. And that your average footballer is not taking a touch as good as Cunha's and getting a shot on target like that. Outside of that, we struggle to create chances. I'm not really going to take a moment of brilliance and say, oh, because this guy did this on his own, it means we were showing something as a team. Say that again?
Isn't that why we bought these players?
No, of course. But here's the thing. But here's the thing. I'm not gonna say because he took a brilliant touch on a pass like that. It means like everyone else is gonna do it. I still need to see patterns. I still need to see someone like Mbumo, someone like Sesko, who we signed because they take a lot of shots, especially Mbumo, who scored 20 goals in the league last season. I need to see him get into more goal-scoring opportunities. I didn't see that in the Fulham game. I saw that in the Burnley game. However, I can't also take too much out of the Burnley game because when you watch that first half, it was obvious that we were so much better than them, at least on the attack. But they were just so awful defensively. Like, I don't know what Scott Parker does. He's going right back down. There was so much space being afforded to us that you can tell, like, how the fuck did we not go into halftime at least 2-3-0? Because there was so many chances. Ahmad Sitter, a couple shots from Mbumo, a couple shots from Cunha. The corner that Bruno crossed, he did the whole Scholes-esque type of corner where it just landed on the edge of the box and Ahmad hit it perfectly first time. Another day he gets that in the side of on the side of the goal and he scored. There was so many opportunities that first half I was like, you know what, United comfortably should have won. I was sitting on my watch along and around the 68th minute before we conceded. I said, if United concede a goal today, something horribly is going to happen because for about 60 minutes, I didn't see anything happening. Then obviously there's the bozo moments. Dallo, for some reason, deciding to switch when he was filling in for De Ligt's spot. Then he goes out late to cover the cross. The ball gets crossed in. Let's be fair, they score a decent goal. They should have probably had another goal if the offside rule wasn't just so confusing. But still, they started getting into the game in the last 30 minutes. What United keeps showing me is, and it's fine because not every team can play for 90 minutes, but United kind of drop off in moments. They either start slow or they end the game slow. A game that should have been like tucked by the 60th minute and then you're rotating and bringing players on. I found myself in a situation where I'm like, all right, time to bring on Maino at halftime, trying to bring on Sesko because we need a goal. These are the things that I disagree with you, Cam, when you say if we continue to play like this, I need to
Why
win
it
certain
sounded
games
so
comfortably.
hard.
I can't go blow for blow with Burnley. I can't. If I want to be a respectable team and finish in a respectable spot this league, I need to go into these games. I'm not playing Arsenal. Fulham, even Fulham, I respect.
Real quick,
bro.
though,
I can't go blow to blow with Burnley.
But you corrected me on one thing. Sorry, you're correct, because I mean if we keep creating the way we are and the way I expect players like Mbeumo and these guys to take their chances. If we do continue to just keep missing chances and being this shit and whatever, of course we're not going to win games. But I'm of the realistic expectation that these players are going to start. Like Ahmad missing that open net, like 9 times out of 10, we've seen he's not going to do that. And if that I have to expect will change when you create chances.
We can't ignore what we saw. Like at Grimsby, I know you guys didn't see the game, for example.
I got to
said he saw it, but like the way your manager was acting was like he couldn't even watch the game because the players weren't playing. He didn't watch the penalties because they failed him throughout the whole game. And then he's saying at the end of it that they sent a message that they don't want him to basically be the manager, and then all of the United fans are like, I'm done. This is the most embarrassing thing ever. And then like a week later, you scrape past Burnley and it's like, we're back, baby. It's like we just deleted the last week of everything that we just talked about.
I need to be honest with you about Man United. It's very simple. I expected Man United to look better with new blood. And I was speaking to Staffy about this with having Cunha, Mbeumo, and Cisco. I'm expecting to at least have more spark up front. It showed in the Arsenal game with Cunha dribbling and getting off our seat, but I didn't see it in the Grimsby game. I didn't see it in the Fulham game. I didn't see it in the Burnley game. I didn't see it that much. I expected De Ligt and Euro to have a new season now under the manager to work the 3 at the back better, to not have the offside line wrong plenty of times in the game. That's what I expected this season. That's why I backed Amorim to look better, Cam. I expected
Wait, Mo. I have to call you out. I'm sorry. You were on my channel last Thursday, and you were telling me you don't need coaching to look better against Grimsby. Yet you're sitting here saying I expected with better coaching to look better in these games, and you named the Grimsby game.
Grimsby.
So which one is it?
Not the Grimsby game, the Premier League games. The Grimsby game, as I mentioned before, doesn't need coaching. 4th division versus 1st division, the quality should show regardless of what. That's why, Staffy, my conclusion about Man United is something deeper than the players and the coach. I don't know what it is. Wallah al-Azim, I admit.
I always say there's a mental aspect. I understand,
yes.
Momo, there's a mental aspect. I always agree with that.
Do you know Zamalek, Mustafa? Do you know Zamalek? Yeah. Wallah, people that don't know what we're talking about, in Egypt, we have 2 big teams. Someone named Al Ahli, right? I grew up there, and it's Zamalek, right? These 2 are two of the biggest clubs in Africa.
Staffy supports Zamalek, by the way.
For some whatever reason, guys, people go to Al Ahli, they perform good regardless. Because they say it's something called the spirit of the red shirt. People go to Zamalek, they don't perform. It stayed for years. It's called something called, I don't know, defeatist mentality or some kind of shit like this. Wallahi, no one can explain it.
Sports psychology, I agree with it. Sports psychology is a big thing. This is why there's people that have degrees in professionals that do this on a daily. So we're not going to neglect it. But I'll tell you what, Mo. I'll tell you what, Liverpool was a laughing stock for 30 years until Klopp came in, and then he started making them decent.
It took him years. It took him years.
Of course.
The mentality.
So at the end of the day, we're not going to sit here and pretend that like, there's actually no solution to a team actually becoming good.
There is a solution.
A team can become good with some basics. Am I saying United is a perfect place to play at right now? No, but I'm not going to lie. It doesn't even help when the manager isn't doing the basics, which is one thing. I've been saying it now. I've gave this guy too many excuses. And now when I go back and I look at some of the repetition of mistakes, I'm sorry, bro. I look at the way that we play football. There is managers out there with half the quality that just do the basics well. Areola, look at Areola, bro. He has one of the most physical teams in the league, and this guy just got his whole back line decimated. Glasner, the same thing. Glasner plays the same setup, but Glasner is way better on the transition than the way Amorim tries to play. I'm not taking too much out of the Burnley game. I'm happy we got the 3 points. I hope that mentally it helps these players who I believe some of them are underperforming. At least it gives them a little bit of boost of confidence. And just in case they were downing themselves, that can kind of now. I'm taking more out of the Fulham game. The Fulham game is the one game this season that is more realistic. We outplay Arsenal. I know we're not better than them. I'm not taking too much out of it. I already know United likes to turn up in big games. We beat Burnley. We scraped it. I've seen that before. The Fulham game was the most telling one because that's a game that we came off a good performance. after a good preseason, everyone is hyped up with the amount of signings that we made and the new front line and all that. And I looked at the game, and there was a lack of build-up, there was a lack of creativity, there was a lack of ideas, and there was a lack of structure. And a lot of it, I looked at the manager, and I looked at the substitutions, and I looked at his decisions. And a lot of what I saw in the Fulham game reminded me of last season. I shouldn't be seeing that into the second game of the season. It is way too early for me to see this type of performances come in. Because I'll make an excuse if you're not good on good form and then they have to slip off. I'd be like, no, fair enough. They built a whole new front line. Cunha's firing, Mbumo's firing, Sesko's firing. I didn't see that. I saw a manager still being a coward, not wanting to put his number 9 in and trying to rely on Cunha in the 9 when we signed him to play in the deeper role in the left 10 because he's a good ball carrier. I'm seeing him still chasing the game, needing a goal and saying, oh, well, if I'm taking off Casemiro, I'm actually going to put on Ugarte because I always like to go with one defensive, one attacking. No, you need a goal. You're the better team. You put on a Menu, you put on a Bruno, and fuck it. If you lose the game trying to win it, that is better than being a coward and never giving yourself a chance to win it. It's game week 2. Joe, I saw you raise your hand. You want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to ask you, Staffy, right? We know how this is going to end, right? There's not a plan. There's not a future. We know where this is going, man. It's just a stay of execution. I think everyone can tell this guy's not going to work in the Premier League. He's just not. And eventually the time's going to come when yous have all had enough. I honestly don't know why they don't just go, do you know what? Like, for me, genuinely, watching Manchester United, you're not getting top 4. You're not getting top 4. That's a sure top 5.
I don't have us in top 7. I'll tell you that.
There you go. But that again in itself, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. So I can already tell you, and listen, I'm enjoying it as a rival, but yeah, I will say that. Because we're probably going to be battling relegation together this season. But I joke, of course. But my point is, we already know where this is going.
I thought you said Conference League.
Do you know the mad thing is, right? You'll probably play well against Manchester City. Bruno will play well. He's staying in my fantasy team.
I think we'll beat him, actually, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You'll play well against Chelsea, maybe just lose. But then it's the other games when you're expected to win. It's just like watching Ten Hag on repeat. I know it's a different system, different style, whatever. But it's just like watching the same movie over and
no,
over.
No, I don't think so. It's going to be different. I want to move on because I have to. Go ahead, Cam.
If we do end up, because I don't think we're going to beat City. I think they're going to come out like bats and like they're going to be so pissed about that loss. But I think if we do, let's say we get a result at either Chelsea or City. Let's just say that happens, and then we do end up winning the next few. Again, I don't think Emery should stay here, but I always look at it from what the club's going to do and what the club's shown me of what they're going to do. If we get results from those 2 games. And then we show up against a few of the next games, we're not sacking this manager. Like, we're just not. Like, it's just
I know that. Yeah,
it's just not going to happen. They're going to be like, well, look, they're 6th to the table. They've improved. We have the highest.
I don't think we'll get sacked for many reasons, Cam. Not just that. I mean, listen. The most damning thing would be is that they came in under 2 years. They sacked 2 managers. That is a horrible way to start your journey at a new football club.
That's all I'm saying. Whenever
people are going to be looking at
okay, guys, I'm just going to tell you, unless Man United are bottom half of the table or doing terribly, Amram is going to stay in. I think that's the bottom line. They sacked too many managers for them to sack him. He's 7th, 8th.
They didn't sack. They only sacked Ten Hag. You're talking about new people right now, which, by the way, was still justified because people try to gaslight us all the time. Jose Mourinho and Ten Hag got sacked in 4 days. So United were never wrong for sacking these men. It's the mistake you got to keep doing. They sack a manager and they always get the wrong payment, or they have the wrong plan after the sacking. That is the issue with United.
The Bozo United captain was beefing with Burnley. He wasn't. He was just celebrating in the press. But listen, we're another manager that is actually got criticized by his own family.
By the way, has my internet been good since I joined?
It's better. You sound better, to be honest with you. You sound good. Another manager that actually me and Joe were talking about, Arteta managing the game against Liverpool. He got criticized by Ljungberg, by Emmanuel Petit, by a lot of people about him managing the Liverpool game and him being defensive and playing 3 DMs and not being attacking enough. And people are actually saying that Arsenal will not win the league. Now, I'm serious.
I know, but it changes like every week. Like last week, we were favorites and we were going to win it. I think everyone just got a bit too like giddy about that. So,
what do you think
about the game?
Anybody can take it. Anybody can take it.
Right,
bro.
I got a jet.
I
so
think
I'm-
everyone say one thing. I want Arsenal to win the league. They're not going to win the league, unfortunately. Liverpool's going to win the
Cam,
league.
What the
please,
fuck?
respectfully, just get 2 wins in a row, and then we'll start hearing about.
I want you to. I want you to. Trust
No,
me.
look, I don't want Manchester United support. It's so fake. It's like a curse. God, even Gary Neville does it. It's disgusting. But the amount of stuff that's been said about my team, I don't even think there's anything worthwhile saying. I mean, it's been picked apart. We were cowardly. We were the boring team. We didn't create anything. We didn't open up. We didn't do it. We didn't let Liverpool go crazy in our goal box, and people were mad about it. But I think Schmeichel is a hypocritical bust. I don't want to get into all the details of who and what, but yeah, Ljungberg was within his rights to say what he said. I don't judge him on that. I think maybe we could have been more swashbuckling and more aggressive, but I don't think that was the play. I think both teams showed that it was do not lose this game. And that just dictated it into a pretty boring game overall because they didn't commit a lot of players forward. Ekitike had 3 passes all game or something like that. Two passes. None of their star players actually cut us apart. I think even Calafiori, which I was surprised was able to handle Salah. So it was there's a lot of nullifying going on. And fair play on the free kick. Absolutely brilliant free kick. I was screaming at Raya before the free kick that he had left too much room over there. And turns out I was right. But, he's not.
Do you think he should have saved that, by the way? Because I said that to my Arsenal boys yesterday and they said no.
Two things happened. Zubimendi let
Wallahi, Staffy, you have a point and you don't. It's like that.
Come on.
I'll tell you what, Alisson saves that.
No, it's a brilliant.
It was
free
a
kick.
moment
It's
of brilliance. Man.
But I think
I'll tell you what, I think Alisson saves it. Because you look at his starting position, he was actually in the middle of the goal. And he jumps towards it. The ball was it was right over his fingertips. He's just a short goalkeeper, I'll be honest with you.
When he came into the middle, he had to jump again once he was coming down when he should be moving, and he didn't have enough time to do that step and jump.
The problem is, Martin, you're no one is talking about the free kick. Everyone is saying that Arsenal could have. They should have.
It was a brilliant kick, man.
They could have Arsenal did this. This is why they don't win. They don't win the league. That's why some people said this is why Arsenal will not win the league this season.
The manager's a pussy, Mo. Why can we not say it? He's a pussy. Why can we not say it?
Well, I think it's more complicated than that, right? The Saliba injury happened in the warm-up, which was him apparently rolling his ankle and then saying that he was fine to play.
Why are you laughing?
And then that used our first substitution after 4 minutes. But people are saying maybe he should have made the Eze and Odegaard substitution at half-time or something like that.
That's crazy, that, by the way. That's crazy.
I don't understand it. We had Liverpool where we wanted them. We had them held at arm's length. The crowd wasn't all G'd up and making us play nervous. We were actually in a very good position. And the fact that we made those changes and we went more attacking and then they got their chances is it's not a surprise to me. We opened up and Liverpool applied pressure. I think that they were very lucky in that they got a goal which didn't require a lot of effort from everyone on the team. It was that individual brilliance, but it is what it is. A set piece goal is still the same value as any other goal, and I don't.
Were you lucky against Madrid?
What's that?
Were you lucky against Madrid?
I think there was luck. It was luck from Rice that he managed to score 2 amazing free kicks in a row, but I think we outplayed Madrid.
Let's not do that, Martin. I remember what you said after the game last year. Let's not do that.
What was the aggregate score? It was 6-1 or 5-1 or something. It wasn't even close. I wouldn't say we were lucky. It wasn't we got a 1-0 over there.
2-0 up because of 2 free kicks. Let's stop this.
But you didn't hear me. I just said I didn't begrudge you winning on a free kick. It's a set piece. It's a goal. It's worth the same as anything else. And then you sat in and you didn't move out of your box after that and let us attack you for 15 minutes. And it wasn't enough time to
Yeah, because we know you can't attack. So it was the smart thing to do.
Well, a smart thing to do. But I heard that Liverpool, when they get a goal, they go another goal and they get another goal and they're really smart and they're better than everyone because
not in the 85th minute.
But I don't think people should be I don't want Ethan starting that game because he tries to beat 3 men in the midfield and gives Liverpool great turnovers where they want it. I don't want Eze starting that game because he's just arrived 4 days ago and doesn't know any of the other players. The only reason Martinelli started, I think, was because of his record against Liverpool, and we need some kind of player who's played there before, with Gyökeres and Madueke being brand new as well. People have these expectations we're just going to go over there to Liverpool and blow them off the park with 7 players already injured in the 3rd game week. I don't understand it.
Well, I expected you to try and do it, but to try. That's
I'm sorry to disappoint people, but I actually don't give an F about what rivals think I should have an opinion about my own manager.
Not just
or
my
what
opinion. There's a lot of
like,
Arsenal fans feeling the same way.
What was that?
You might not give a fuck, but a lot of Arsenal fans give a fuck. It's
Look,
just a cowardly
people who listen to others and care about their opinions, but like I'm watching like James Lawrence Alcott doing a 35-minute breakdown on where Arteta went wrong because of like still shots, and you can draw all these lines and make it sound like you're a tactico. But fundamentally, I don't care. You're a QPR fan. You can have your opinion on what my club does, but you don't have to expect me to care about it. Because if someone comes up to me and says, you must put pressure on your manager and blah, 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 all these demands from a rival, I'm more likely to just ignore them and say, well, F you. If it annoys you that I'm keeping my manager, then I want to keep him longer. So a lot of that stuff really like just goes right over my head.
You keep them all you want. That's fine. You're allowed to feel that way. But we're allowed to watch a football game and say one manager approached the game like a pussy and another manager didn't. The reason that game was
stale. Why did the pussy team have more like XG and shots and like touches in the final third? Like what? The stats don't match any of these narratives.
4 center backs, 3 DMs, no outlet on the counter. Your only outlet was Madueke, respectfully.
Okay, so let's break this down. 4 center backs. Calafiori is a very attacking left back in this scenario, right? He might technically be a center back by trade, but he's playing as left back and he spends a lot of his time going forward. Same with Timber. Like there's a lot of these things which sound good, 3 DMs, but Marino's up on the edge of their box trying to win the ball the whole time. Zubimendi's like maybe a traditional DM, and Rice isn't playing as a DM. He's like a box to box. So it's kind of like you can understand how you make it sound worse than it actually is.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying, but then I look at it. You're talking to me about Marino sitting on the edge of the box. All right, there's 3 10s on the bench. Why is Eze not getting a debut?
Just got injured and would have to be playing with injections. Eze's never played for our club before, and Ethan is a kid. That you want
Ethan is a kid, but
Dowman
Dowman was on the pitch
away in Anfield. Like
I saw a 15-year-old on the pitch. Let's not do that. I saw a 15-year-old come on and
at the end, but I don't want Ethan leading the press and setting up our defensive structure against Liverpool when you've got some of the best players in the world in the most pressured situation.
This same team that you're saying is one of the best in the world. They conceded 4 goals in 2 games. The blueprint was there to get
game. That's a basketball game, which we didn't want to get into because we would have lost.
Okay, says who? Why do you think you lose a basketball game than Liverpool?
I just don't think people have given these players enough time to gel. They're jumping to conclusions, and they're trying to put as much pressure on Arteta as they can because that's like a sport now. Like putting pressure on Arteta is the first thought people have. If Spurs lose to fucking Bournemouth, the first thought they have is let's talk about Arteta. Let's make it.
No, we're not doing that. We talk about everything here, so let's not pretend that we're doing the agenda thing. I actually back you guys going into this game.
Like sack my manager.
So if I had an Arsenal agenda, I want to have back to you guys to win this game. So I actually said I thought you guys were going to go win, and I thought you guys were going to have a very dominant performance.
Is that your fault, or is that?
No, it's not about my fault. I'm just telling you that if there's an agenda, I wouldn't have made that prediction.
But my problem is there in 13 years we had,
and there's no shame in not winning in Anfield.
Us to go and blow them out of the park. That's not.
I think you're missing the point, Martin. You're missing the point. You're missing the point. There's no shame in not winning at Anfield. There's a shame of approaching the game the way you did. Because in the first game, when you guys played the same, you played a very similar way, I should say, against United, very pragmatic. We said, you know what, fuck it. It's the first game of the season. A lot of players are unfit. It's a big game. You guys always get results. And fair enough, you got a result. It was off a set piece. You go against this Liverpool team. I'm telling you, the blueprint is there. We watched the Newcastle game and we watched the Bournemouth game in the first game. These guys, when they commit to the attack and can defend well, they're very easy to hit on the counter. Sam will tell you that. We saw 4 goals in 2 games. The fact that outlet, and I'll be honest, we always talk about Arsenal having the best backline in the league, and rightfully so. At some point, a big manager needs to make a big decision and just trust his center backs and say, listen, I have Gabriel, I have Saliba. Fair enough, Saliba got injured in the first 5 minutes, but it was still an approach before he got injured. I have to trust my center backs to do their job at the end of the day. I'll be like, you know what? If Katika is just here, he's new into the league. He's a 23-year-old. I trust that Saliba and Gabriel can bully him. Fair enough, you can make a special plan for Salah because you respect Salah. But when you look at it, bro, the manager didn't want to do that. He just plays so scared. He plays so pragmatic. It comes to a point where you enter all these games, and fair enough, you've had a good top 6 record. But like, you approach too many of these games pragmatic.
We didn't set up in our box or anything. Like we did have our 4 defenders there.
But bro, you put on duel winners in your midfield more than creative players for a reason. And you actually lost so many duels. You had Zubimendi winning 1 of 8 duels, I think, and Rice had 1 of 5. Like,
Well, I don't know. I
the
can't control
approach was to
duel. I
just
don't
be
think he gave
physical,
them
and you actually
instructions to
weren't.
not win the duels. I think he wants to win every duel. We know that from the All or Nothing documentary. But I don't know, Joe. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think. Look, for me, a lot's been made of Arteta, but it's cool to, and I'm not like disrespecting anyone on the panel here by any stretch. I just think obviously it's in vogue. It's cool to smash Arsenal. I wish Cam was still here, because obviously was talking about how if it weren't for Bruno's penalty miss, they win this game, yada yada yada. But what I would also say then, if it weren't for a worldy free kick, Arsenal come away from the from Anfield with a point, right? Like, and that's a good result. It all became cool since Paul Scholes sat there a couple of seasons ago and went, oh, they celebrate it like they've won a game. Well, you should go win them games. And now everyone says it. But Moore pulled up some stats before. I think the last team to beat Liverpool at Anfield was Forest. Before that, it was Leeds United. What did it do for us, man? We still went fucking down. It's not that big, man. Like, the game's won across the full season. Of course, if Liverpool go on and win every single game, then okay, you can maybe pull it back to that moment. But they were undone by an absolute worldie of a free kick. And that's what it was. I think it's harsh to criticise the keeper. I think we're looking at like the tiniest of details. That is just a worldie free kick from a very good player who had a boss performance at right back. Who needs Trent? Who needs Frimpong when you've got
this
Dominic
game doesn't tell you
Szoboszlai?
anything, guys, about Arsenal season or anything, right? Like, this game doesn't tell you anything.
No,
It tells us a lot, because I agree with Staffy completely, and I think Joe and Martin are, you get me wrong in this scenario.
I'm not
I think it
surprised.
shows, no, I'll tell you why. I think it shows cowardice. It shows cowardice.
Give over, man. Come
So
on.
I can't have an opinion.
No, but come on, right? So
I have
he's
to
a
agree with
coward.
just Joe Football Show. Now then,
Wait,
people,
Hussam.
but I
Hussam.
cannot have my own opinion.
No,
on
you
the
can,
game.
bro. But just answer me this:
Joe,
if he comes
you were there on
and
my
he
show
goes
Wednesday.
swashbuckling,
You asked
and
me.
Please, can I just make this point and then I'll shut up? Right? Thank you. You're saying, had he have come to Anfield, banged Desi in there, went with, all this, changed the formation up completely, went swashbuckling, and they lose 3-0, would you have gone, well, at least they came and had a goal?
But the
Well,
argument
what's
is
to say
so
they would've
weak.
lost
But
3-0?
the
Okay,
argument
let
is
me
so
ask
weak.
you. Let
Who
me
said that they're
ask
going
you
to
a
lose
question.
3-0, though? Like,
So the first half happens. Okay.
Okay.
Mo thinks Arsenal were marginally better. I
Yes.
thought both teams were crap in the first half. Let's not argue semantics.
It was a terrible game.
Yes, it was terrible in the first half. Now the second half starts. Okay? The second half starts. Why is it from the 45th minute up until Liverpool scored the goal, we were the one that had the 3 shots on target, the 4 chances that we created. We could have had a 5th chance if Salah's first touch wasn't like he didn't have a Timberland boots on. And we had 67% possession in a period of 30, almost 40 minutes. Now, the reason why that happened is one team came out in the second half with the intent to attack, and the other team came out with the intent to not lose. Now, you worked with me on the Wednesday before the game. Your question to me was, Hussam, are you not worried about your defense because you've conceded 7 goals in 3 games? Don't you think if Arteta came out, and by the way, they're better defensively than us. So your theory of they would have lost 3-0, I think is actually a crazy theory, because they're not the type of club to concede 3 goals at this moment in time. So if they came out on the 45th minute and went like, okay, as a left wing, number 10, Odegaard, let's go. Let's try to go for the kill here. There is a genuine possibility, the way that we played in the first half, that they could have beaten us. They could have.
You guys are playing very defensively. You guys weren't overcommitting to anything.
You're the home team.
Yes, but that's the risk that you take. When you risk winning versus not wanting to lose, it's 2 different type of mentalities.
I think it's.
Well, I'm sorry that we disappointed everyone, and we're just a bunch of cowards, and Arteta's never going to get it over the line, and I've heard it all before.
So you admit that your manager's a coward?
Yeah, I think he's a very weak human being, and I think we should sack him immediately.
Are you admitting he's the football Thibodeau?
No, I'm just.
That's actually a great analogy, low key.
He's the football Thibodeau, bro.
I'm just really sorry that I disappointed everyone and all the fans watching, and hopefully you don't watch our games anymore because it's really boring. But I know you will.
I'll be
game
honest
was
with you. The only
brutal.
reason why I watch Arsenal games is because I have to.
Yeah, well,
The game
you
is
know you love
brutal.
it, Hassam. I know you hate watching us.
You know, Martin doesn't enjoy his football
100%
club
he don't
games.
enjoy it.
You know,
100%
he does.
No, I know
He
that
won't say it on camera, but I promise you, deep down, he don't
I
enjoy
don't
that.
sit there and just judge everything based
Just
on.
make
I'm
sure
not a backseat
when
manager.
they go to the Emirates that they are out and attacking from minute one all the way up, man.
What do you mean?
Make-
I've seen it. I've seen it from years from Jurgen Klopp. I've seen it from years
This
from Pep.
isn't Jurgen Klopp.
No, he's not. Even Slot, I've seen it from Slot.
We attacked
So it's
last
fine.
season.
Listen, he is who he is. We
Good,
accept
good,
him for who he is. But when he just doesn't win shit, and we sit here and we analyze along the way why he wasn't winning shit, that's just one of the reasons. As I said, there's no shame of not beating Liverpool in Anfield. It's the approach.
But you're
If
trying
you
make
try
it
to,
good,
if he even had a game plan, where it was like, you know what, let me just see out the first 45 minutes, absorb the atmosphere. It's still Anfield. It's still a tough ground to go to away. Let's get out in the first half at least with a 0-0, and then in the second half, I'm gonna start attacking a little bit more when there's a little bit more tight legs.
Let me ask a question.
I didn't see none of that.
Let me ask a question. If that free kick didn't go in, which is a world class free kick, would you say here that Arsenal got a good result at Anfield?
Yeah, I mean, listen, losing in Anfield is always a good result. I just said that.
The follow-up question. Do you think apart from the free kick, would Liverpool have scored the goal, or do you think the game was boring and Arsenal nullified them?
It's a very good argument to say it still would have ended 0-0. But if you told me who would look most likely to score, I think it could be Liverpool.
In the second half, yes.
But if you told me right now, bet your house on a result, just say the free kick didn't happen, bet your house on a result right now,
That
I'd
proves.
say it probably would have ended
Do you
0-0.
think a point at Anfield is good for Arsenal in this race?
A point in
now?
Anfield is good for anyone. I already said that. So I never denied that. I was just, as I said, I mean, Martin mocked it.
That by
As
definition
a football
means
fan, I
Arteta's
just think it's a
approach to the
disappointing
game-
approach.
Yeah, but
That's all.
As a football fan, but for Arsenal, if you want to look, for
I'd like to
Arsenal-
see my team at least trying, have an outlet. It's fine sometimes to go on the counter. Fergie used to do that, bro. I'm not being oblivious. I'm not being deluded. There's certain games where Fergie used to play and he knew we'd concede a lot of the ball, but he at least still leave an outlet. Like he wouldn't. Like
Okay,
I'm sorry, bro.
what is
Everyone
more
looked at
evidence?
that
Okay, so
lineup.
what
You
is-
know
okay,
they're playing for a draw,
what is
and
more
it happens a
evidence-
lot, Mo.
Okay, hold on. What is more evidence than the first half? In the first 25 minutes, Arsenal had 10 touches in the penalty box of Liverpool, 6 corners, and Liverpool had 0.
And how many of those touches was corners, Mo? I already know they're good on corners. What's new?
No. These touches were not corners. Okay, that is the definition of wrong. Liverpool actually defended every corner to be outside. These touches were not corners. That is a wrong narrative.
I don't know, Mo. Let me go back and see what these 10 touches were, because we just talked about the first half being horrible.
I can tell you now.
You
what
remember
they are.
all 10 touches.
No, but I remember some of them. Madueke.
All I remember is Madueke and
Three
Kirkis.
times. Eucharist layoff to Timber. Calafiori shot from inside the box that Konate blocked. Right, Timber had a shot. Timber was on the ball and.
So are you
he was
insinuating in the first half they were trying to attack? Is that what you do?
Arsenal were pressing with 2 players at least.
He
On the
is
2
But you were
defenders.
insinuating they were
And
playing
defend at
attacking
the
in the
same
first
time,
half.
right?
Arsenal were more on the ascendancy in the first half than Liverpool, and I said that plenty of times.
Okay.
Arsenal had the better plan in the first half. And that is actually how Ikitiki didn't actually get involved in the game. Wirtz looked like he's non-existent. However, Madueke...
I never complained about them defensively. I always knew they'd shut them down defensively.
The only problem with Arsenal, in my opinion, if they had any other player, including yourself, than Martinelli on that left side, they would have created more dangers. Martinelli got on the... With all due respect to everyone...
He's horrible. I know, he's horrible.
Martinelli got on the ball one-on-one with Szoboszlai 3 times in the first 15 minutes. Szoboszlai not only dispossessed him to start an attack 3 times near the penalty area. He one-on-one, isolated with your defender, who's not a defender, and Martinelli got dispossessed for Szoboszlai to start a transition attack for Liverpool. That is how bad Martinelli was. But anyway, let me do this.
One sec. I just want to explain that the irony of an Arsenal fan who's been watching them for 30 plus years, right? And how many years that I've been told we played great football, but we kept trying to pass the ball in the net, or we were too fancy with it, or we were too attacking, or we were too naive. Now we're not naive. Now we're being defensively solid, and people don't like it either. They're like, well, you're not opening up enough. You should be like doing this and that. Like, I can't win. Whatever we do, people are going to complain about it. I've just accepted that.
I mean, sure, we're all going to have different opinions, and that's fine for you to feel
but no
that
one
way. It depends
respected
on
it
what
back
you
then when
want.
we were attacking all the time. No one gave us like kudos. They're just like, well, you're just naive and stupid.
I hear that. I agree with you. It
The-
reaches a point that
the
whatever you
only-
do is wrong at the end of the day.
The only thing I will have to agree with Osama and stuff is, I think Arsenal have weapons now to play better football.
Exactly my point.
this.
You have a 60 million
Like
striker
maybe
that was
a little
starving
bit
for
more,
service, bro.
because you remember when you played Eucharist behind, he turned Konate and created a clear-cut chance for Timber that Kirkis blocked inside the 18. That was going in the goal. When you just pushed some players forward, you actually had it. But I think that, to be honest with you, a 0-0 for Arsenal at Anfield would have given you really a good push. in this
Yeah,
league, buddy.
and that's
Very good
football.
push.
Because
That
another
is
day
what
they
it
probably
is.
wouldn't have
They
scored
wanted
that
to
set piece
steal.
against us and at Old Trafford. That would have been more points dropped.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, if you're sitting here talking about Arsenal with 4 points, only 1 win against Leeds, you're having a completely different conversation.
We'll see. Let me do
That's
this
a
so we can
fine
get out
margin
of
in the
here. Staffy, Alisson would have saved that. Courtois saved 2 from Rice. Worldy is a worldie. People talk about ball like they never kicked one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a beauty, man. Honestly, it was absolutely.
It wasn't. I just think Alisson gets a hand on that.
By the way, Declan Rice free kicks were much harder than this, just to let you know.
Yeah, those you couldn't touch those.
It's
The curl on them
impossible.
was crazy.
Especially
Even Sabazala
yeah.
said he's had better free kicks than that.
Yeah, it's impossible. Sonra saying both teams played shit. Pool had amazing free kick. Okay,
One team
had-
made the game shit, one team didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, it's only our fault.
Liverpool
were
played the game that
incapable
was
of
forced on
attacking in
them.
the first half.
Forced on
Second
them.
half, we were capable.
Yeah, of course, and that's you know what, that's probably a testament to how you guys just made
Why
the game
can't
ugly
they
when you wanted
force
it to
their
be.
game on us? It's Anfield. They're at home. They've got like the best attackers in the world. Like,
Well, there's
why-
not much you could do when you just put all these bodyguards in the
we
halfway
didn't. It
line.
wasn't. It's not like we were
And-
playing like 10
But
men
they
in our
didn't.
box.
That is narrative.
Yes,
they
they did.
didn't.
The
Merino
game was so
pressing-
slow, it was boring. They were passing between Zubamendi, Rice, and the back line the whole fucking game.
Yes, in the second half.
Like, what are we doing here? We saw
Yeah,
that.
With
that's different
Guehi,
than-
with Guehi,
champion.
not in whose favorites in your opinion, Mo? I think it's now because Arsenal signed Eze. For me, it's 50-50 because I think Liverpool are light in defense. If Konate stays fit, Omar, for the rest of the season, Liverpool are favorites. But injuries happen, and Liverpool really left themselves short in defense, Omar, just to answer you. You can't say easy Arsenal win, then Liverpool at home. Yeah, fair enough. It's not easy.
And I didn't say that we were going to win. I wasn't like one of these Arsenal fans who were like, now's our time. We're going to dominate them.
Arsenal put a barbed wire fence in front of a brick wall. They did not set up to win the game, and it could cost them playing negative. Okay.
Haas.
Like, Mark, I'm just going to tell you something. How in the first half you didn't see Arsenal trying to win, getting players forward, committing both fullbacks forward? Is maybe in the second half you can say that, but in the first half, Arsenal were marginally better and they were going for the win.
I mean, you just look at the front three they put out, and you can already tell. What are you talking about?
He didn't have anybody else, in my opinion, other than
He
Merino.
could- he-
In my
bro,
opinion,
he could.
Nwaneri should have played. That's my opinion.
When Eric could have played, and Eze could have played. That's 2 players you could have brought
I
on.
think
Eze
maybe
just played Liverpool 2 weeks ago in the
Okay, how
Community
many
Shield.
combined minutes does Madueke, Gyökeres, and Eze have for the Arsenal?
I'll ask you the
Now,
same thing.
about
How many
100, right?
combined does
Because
Madueke, Gyökeres,
Madueke
and
had
Lam-
never started for us, and Eze had never played for us, and you want us to go to Liverpool and like attack like idiots with players.
But wait. And how many minutes did they play combined? Them 3 that he put out. Gyökeres just signed, Madueke just signed, and Martinelli's been there. I can make the same argument. What, they played an extra game together? Martinelli and Gyökeres? That's the oldest.
Well, Martinelli's played games before. He's scored 6 goals.
How
and
many
2
did he play
assists
with
for Liverpool.
Gyökeres? How many games did Gyökeres play with Madueke? That whole front line is new anyways, regardless of how you put it together.
So how do you expect them to go to Liverpool and just play like they've been together for like 10 years and they know? Like,
I
how
didn't
to
say
one,
that,
two,
but at
and-
least if I know any combination I'm going to put out is going to be players that don't have chemistry playing together, at least I'm going for the most quality. So I'm like, you know what? If Gyökeres hasn't really played much with Martinelli, never played with Eze, might as well put Eze on because I know Eze is 10 times the player Martinelli is. At
Yeah, well,
least
maybe he had a plan to tire them out with Martinelli and then bring Eze on against tired Liverpool players.
And he
and
did.
when did he bring on
but-
Eze on? With like
0-0.
what, 15 minutes left?
No.
60
What was it?
or something like that. I don't know.
17 minutes, 20 minutes left.
So 20 minutes.
And it was
I
0-0.
think it could have been more.
We had no chance, according to media and YouTubers. No one said that. Everyone said that Liverpool are favorites to win the game. No one have said that, Andrew. No one have said that. Criticism level that Arsenal should also be thrown at Paul too. Teams were very conservative. Arsenal played 12 more passes into the final third than Liverpool. Either both teams had no intent. It cannot be one or the other. Fair enough, Adam. Fair enough. The stats are here. Maybe. I saw in the first half, I saw intent from Arsenal. I see Liverpool were not capable. That's the difference. Not capable of actually playing in the first half, Adam. Osam, you got to be present in the media to receive votes from journalists for individual honors. Scholes hated the media and was an introvert. Beckham has individual honors, but I do think he's so overrated. I don't get that. I don't. What is he talking about?
You're calling Beckham overrated. That's crazy.
No, RSV, I don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna be present in the media to receive. Oh yeah, I hear you. For individual honors, Scholes hated. I was so introvert. Beckham. Oh, he's talking about the Scholes again.
Yeah, I don't know. Very irrelevant comment.
If Konate goes down, don't worry. We have Sabozlai at centre back. All right.
And Gravenberch.
Sabozlai can play. Everyone.
Imagine I put Eze on longer when he's even at Sabozlai right back.
Anyway, big up everyone that joined us. This was a long show, longer than expected. It got heated sometimes and it didn't in others as well. But listen, Hussam has a Liverpool show. Joe has his show at 8 p.m. UK time, right? 8 p.m. UK time on Just a Joe football show with Wolfie. I don't know what you're talking about with Wolfie, unless you think Wolfie is going to get relegated this season, but that's a different story.
Nah, man, Wolfie is just good guy, isn't he, man?
Yeah, I expect a lot of teams to go to Anfield and win. All right, then. Fantastic super chat. And big up everyone that supported the channel. I will see you guys tonight on MHF on 10:30 UK time. We're out of here, people.
Or
Thank
11.
you so much.